My man. Doing the most. Doing the most. You know I had to remix this bitch. Shout out our boy. If I get caught up in a storm, pray the rain just keep me calm. All my life I dealt with pain, see no evil cause on. Chop along just like a arm, new bitches we fucking on. Doing wrong without them knowing, I'm the GOAT if you ain't know it. And you can't go do what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. And you can't go through what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. I just need someone to call on. I've been making moves like Michael Corleone. I won't say that shit until it's set in stone. Bitch, don't say my name if you gon' say it wrong. I can't take these drugs and keep my...
Yo, it's your boy CT Crusher here checking in. Just wanting to remind y'all to go subscribe to my homie Hoodie Jube for the Hoodie Jube live podcast. We talking pressing topics here for you every night of the week. Hit that ding dong bell to make sure you don't miss an upload. Come join in on the conversation. Help us expand the community. We do a lot of giveaways, give away to a lot of charities, giving away to the local children's hospital. And oh, by the way, if you want a chance to win free NFL tickets, yes, I said that, free NFL tickets, make sure you subscribe and hit the ding so you don't miss a chance to win free NFL tickets. Peace out.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hoodie Jube, and if you're looking for the best restaurant in town, man, go try Weed Ass Chicken and Shrimp, man. They have the best chicken wings, the best chicken tenders, the best fried shrimp, the best fried catfish, and their fries are so amazing, covered with ranch, cheese, bacon, jalapenos. Oh my! Yes, you heard it. Go try it out. They got 4 locations: Monroe, Louisiana, Marrero, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas, baby. Go try it now.
Right, man. What up? I won't speak on nothing but the real. You know how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Say we've been down for too long. The only way is up, it's time to move on. Never leave your house without your shoes on. Them killers want your spot, you cannot move on. Ain't worried about that girl, I tell them move on. They say it's my fault, but I'm feeling I can't do wrong. Cut all my partners off, let me open like the roof gone. Long talks and I ain't never changed, it's just been too long. Better shake 'em back and that's a fact, so I'm turned up. All up in the club, I'm going down and I'm like, what's up? Throw me in that water, I won't go down, I'm too up. She want with a man, I knock that hoe down, I'm too up. Told all the friends, now she just want me to grow.
You can't see us, I time Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Cameron Jordan on the field, about to take a QB soul. Ever Camaro break a tackle, so you know he bold. Mike Thomas catching everything, so you know he cold. He talking pyromantic, we talking Marcus May. We in the backfield, we gon' make them pay. Them boys hitting hard, they need an X-ray. Yeah. We talking black and gold. 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 Straight to the Super Bowl. Your time is up. Our time is now. Say hoodie, you can't see us. Our time is now. Woo. Hoodie droop in the building. We shining now. We shining. You can't see us. Our time is now. You heard me? Your time is up. Our time is now. Woo. You can't see us. Our time is now. Say hoodie, hoodie droop in the building. We shining.
Here he is, Hoodie Jube!
I guess just start with you winning Offensive Player of the Week. That's something to
Yeah, I mean, I kind of alluded to this Sunday after the game. I feel like there's been a lot of conversation, about me, but I feel like anytime you win awards like that, it's a collective group, and man, we rushed the ball for over 200 yards, and it's nothing that you guys aren't familiar with. You don't do that unless the guys up front play really well. So I look at that more as like a collective award, and man, the biggest thing is that we were able to get the win, and we did what we had to do to do that.
You think what you did Sunday, I don't know if this is the right terminology or whatever, okay, but does that warrant more snaps or whatever? Or
I don't try not to get too caught up in that. I trust our coaches in what we're doing, and I think some weeks, there's some advantages, more emphasis, and various things like that. And those guys spend so much time breaking the film down, putting together a plan to make sure that, myself and the rest of our skill guys are put in the right opportunity to be successful. So, yeah, I think that's really, really where my mind is at right now. And I think the more that I can do there, I think it creates opportunities for other guys in other places. And so, man, this thing is just evolving, and we'll just see where we go.
Basically, when Pete tells you at halftime, we think we can do this, and we think we can do a little bit more of that to be effective. Does that kind of, I guess, get the adrenaline flowing a little bit more?
No, I think that's kind of like as I enter a game plan or a game or whatever, I think that's kind of the expectation that these plays are going to get called. And so, generally at halftime, we make some adjustments. But as you guys know, that halftime goes so fast. I think most of the time we come out and we say, hey, these are the things that we want to get to. And going into a game, you expect those plays to get called anyways. So I will say, I don't know that it really changes my mindset. I think it helps having a heads up because, you have an expectation of what to plan, prepare for going into the second half.
Was there any thought of dialing back special teams duties then? Or
At that time? No, I was just kind of in there, man. Look, obviously Deontay went down, and they need some help on kickoff return, and so that was one of those things that wasn't going to go away because we needed some help there. So, again, that's just I'm there, and if Riz needs some help, he kind of grabs me early in the week and says, "Hey, this is what we're thinking. Be ready and available because I might need you in these situations of circumstances." So it's trying to find that balance, and this thing is evolving and it changes, and with Jameis being banged up and stuff, this thing is just it's a fluid deal.
As far as after the game, Dennis said that they'd like to involve you more in the passing game. You haven't had an opportunity to do that. For you, we haven't seen you throw the ball a lot. You're practicing with the tight end. How much throwing do you do? How much do you need to get in shape to not feel rusty, so to say?
Yeah, that's a good question. Look, this training camp, I really didn't take any reps at quarterback, and in the coach's defense, like I was banged up. I had some ribs that I was dealing with through training camp and stuff. So I think the last few weeks it's been an added emphasis for me to make sure that I'm still staying sharp. But this offseason, the emphasis wasn't at the quarterback spot. It was making sure that I could do the other stuff too. So look, I've been doing it my whole life, so I still feel comfortable doing it, and I've got a nice little routine now. The last few weeks where I feel comfortable doing all of that.
I thought you said that in the context of the question. I thought you meant receiving. You said passing game, but it was reference to the question. My question to the fact that you just got one pass this year. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a fair comment too. I think both perspectives there probably make sense. And look, we have a lot of things that different opportunities for me. And again, it's one of those things that you kind of prepare for during the week. And then if your number gets called in the game, then you try and go take advantage of that. But, again, every game's a little bit different. Early this year, we kind of fallen behind. And so our game plan was shifted. We were in a lot of 2-minute situations, and, that is what it is.
Taysom, I know it feels like we've spent 6 years asking you how comfortable you are being patient in whatever unique role it is. How about the first 4 or 5 weeks of this season? Was it getting frustrating that there weren't a lot of opportunities? And then how rewarding, was it to see that a game like this was just around the corner?
Look, I've been doing it long enough, that I try not to get frustrated. And I think the thing that becomes hard is when you start to lose games. Like nobody likes losing. I certainly don't like losing, but I trust our staff and the opportunities they create for not only me, the rest of our guys. And I'm realistic in knowing that we got a lot of talent offensively, and guys need to get the ball and get touches and stuff. And so, man, I try not to get too caught up in that. I think early in your career, it's a little bit harder to not always think about those things. But man, I would say I'm at a point in my career now where, I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I don't want that to be, viewed as complacent in any way, because I'm hungry. I want all the opportunities and various things like that. But I know that they'll come my way.
Well, so you say earlier in your career it's probably harder, but I guess what's interesting in your situation is since this was the first year you weren't competing for the quarterback job. I mean, were you more questioning, okay, what is my next path then to, because I think you always had that quarterback future job as sort of an end game goal. Like,
Sure.
Is it harder to figure out what the end game goal is now?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think early this offseason, I hadn't had a lot of conversations with DA specifically about what his vision was for me. And I know that he came out and had conversations with you guys about what that was going to be, but that was, me trying to have conversations with him, but then also having conversations with Pete. And, I really didn't know what it all meant, if I'm being honest. And I guess that's what I've kind of alluded to, that this is just a fluid situation, and I think it all changed when Jameis got hurt. And then all of a sudden, I'm taking a few more QB snaps during practice and everything else. So look, I think it would be easy for me to look at it and say, man, this is a tough situation because I've got 2 feet and, 1 foot in one room and 1 foot in the other. But, man, I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I have been given. And, I'm at a point in my career where I'm just going to do my best, in whatever opportunity it is. And that's really where my mindset is. And, I think if I start to worry about anything other than that, then you start to go a little crazy.
Run it up, Finero. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. We claiming black and gold. We claiming black and gold. We claiming black and gold. We going to the bowl. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Young Nolan hooded Jew wanna beat me, let you know. Chris Olave, MT down the field. Once to throw the ball deep, yeah, you know it's getting real. Put Jarvis in the slot, he gon' do damage. AK in the backfield, you know, do Randy Davis coming through the line. QB running out of time. Tom Brady, that's mine. Yeah, the Saints did it fine. Hold up, chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Chopper style. Choppers out, the boys wild, yeah, the boys wild. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we toting, holla.
Who that, everybody? How is everybody doing tonight? I'm doing just fine over here, and it's me. It's your boy, Hoodie Juby. And guess what? Everybody should know the saying by now. Derek L knows it very well. Come on, y'all. Y'all should know it by now. There ain't no YouTube without your boy, Hoodie Jube, y'all. How is everybody doing tonight? Because me, like I said, I'm doing just fine. I'm hoping everybody else is having a great night tonight. And I do want to give a special shout out to everybody that is in the chat already. let me give a setup real quick. And also, I am also going to open up the lines. Like I said, like always, the lines are always open to my crowd for y'all can come on, give us your opinions and stuff like that. Let's see. All right, that's in there. Give me one more second because I do want to pin this to the very top for y'all. For not have to, be asked like 20 times, Where's the link, Hood? So yeah, I learned from way back then to remember now. Just to pin it to the top for y'all. Let's see. All right, it should be pinned to the top for y'all. By the way, let's give everybody a special shout out tonight. Who we got up in this thing first? Who was the first one to comment? Trav504. Who that to you, my brother? Robert Clark. Who that to you? We got Apollo in the building. Who that to you? We got Miss Barbara Williams. Who that to you? We got From the Nola. Who that to you? We got It's Poppy 504. Who that to you? We got Philly Philly. Who that? And go Eagles to you. We got Brandon Stock. Who that to you? We got Michael in the building. Who that to you? We got Who that Dana. Who that to you? We got St. John Butler. Who that to you? We got Official Yarn Nola in the building. Who that to you? We got Jerry the old freaking G. Who that to you? We got Rose City in the building. Who that to you? Who else we got up in this thing? Let's see. We got Derek L in the building. Who that to you, Derek L? We got Tim Dunn. Who that to you, Tim Dunn? We got Anthony James. Who that to you? We got Byron Parker. Who that to you? We got Tori Shepard in the building. Who that to you? We got J Live 504. Who that to you? And I believe that's everybody for right now until somebody else, until y'all start tuning on in over here. But who that to everybody? I do want to talk about, Taysom Hill's performance, from last game. Outstanding, man. 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, 4 total touchdowns, and the man got voted for the FedEx Player of the Week. He was the NFC Player of the Week as well. So congrats to Taysom Hill for getting Player of the Week. He deserves it for what he did for us. He basically won us that game for us. So shout out to Taysom Hill. And by the way, I just found this out. The Bengals defense hasn't been really good on runs. And I think they allowed 155 rushing yards last week against the Ravens. So if we want to beat the Bengals like the Ravens did, we're going to have to run the ball like we did last week against the damn Seahawks. Because you saw what we did against the Seahawks when we ran the ball. We was actually putting points on the board. Unfortunately, the defense was allowing points on the board too. So hopefully our defense cleans it up. Hopefully we get hopefully Lattimore ain't too hurt. Hopefully he can play. It's looking like we might be able to get Marcus May back as well. So I do want to show y'all the injury report real quick. I do have it over here. So let me put up the injury report and show y'all what it looks like. So this is what the injury report is looking like right now. The New Orleans Saints has a big ass list. And yes, I said the A road. I apologize, but yes, we got a big list. Deontay Hardy wasn't a surprise. The man's gonna have to get surgery and gonna be out for the season, most likely. They're talking about. He did not practice. Jarvis Landry with his ankle, he did not practice. Michael Thomas did not practice. Marshall Lattimore did not practice. Peyton Turner did not practice, and Chris Olave did not practice. Calvin Throckmorton did not practice. Ryan Ramczyk was limited. Paulson Adebo was limited. JT Gray was limited. Taysom Hill was limited. Marcus May was limited today. Was a good thing to see he's back at practice. Malcolm Roach was limited. And Jameis Winston is limited. Now, to be honest with you, if somebody asked me, do you think Jameis is going to play? I don't think so. I think he's just trying to get back into a rhythm a little thing to see how he feels at practice and just be limited probably. And if they do decide to go the Jameis Winston route, it will probably be on the Thursday night game. I doubt that he plays against the Bengals this weekend. Like I said, I think he's still healing. I think he's going to be out. And to be honest with you, if we need to, we might just let Jameis rest and
what you call it, do some limited practice, and let him work his way into the full practices. So if we really want to, we can let him sit the Bengals and the Cards game that's on Thursday night, and let him return on the Raiders night at home. So I think that would be the best thing for Jameis Winston right now, to make sure you have him at 100% healthy. But when you go to the Bengals side, LSU native, Mr. Collins, the tackle over here, did not practice today, but it was just basically a rest day for him. Wide receiver T. Higgins, his ankle did not practice. Another one in their tackle, Jonah Williams, they saying he probably won't be able to make it to this game most likely because of the injury. He did not practice as well. Two of their tight ends, Hayden Hose and Mr. Devon, he were both limited. One was had an ankle, the other one had a groin. And then one of their running backs, Perrine, he was limited as well. So we definitely have a bigger list than they do. We definitely don't have, if you look at it, all our starting receivers did not practice today. That is definitely not a good sign. Um, but there is something else I want to show y'all real quick, and I think y'all gonna love this when I show it to y'all. Look at this, y'all. Chris Olave. This was reported by Nick Underhill. Chris Olave is in the third stage of the concussion protocol and hasn't experienced any additional symptoms, I'm told. The third stage is football specific exercises, non contact training drills, and full activities are next if he has no further symptoms. That is really good to hear. So, guess what? We just may, have Chris Olave for sure this weekend, because he is in like the third stage of the concussion protocol. And like I said, he hasn't experienced any additional symptoms so far. So I'm glad Chris Olave is doing better, and I'm glad he's in that third stage of it, not having any symptoms yet. Shout out to Chris Olave, man. Heal up, brother, and hopefully we can have you to go Sunday against the Bengals. If not, we definitely would love to have you for Thursday night against the Cardinals, um, as well. So those are your injury reports. You've seen a lot of big players, star players, for our team. They hurt. Hopefully they heal up. Hopefully they're not too serious of an injury to where they can still come play this weekend, because you need all your stars out there. Especially Lattimore, right? You don't want Lattimore to be hurt. That's your star corner. He's gonna have to be on Jamar Chase. He's probably going to switch to T. Higgins if T. Higgins does decide to play. And you also got a man named Tyler Boyd. So, I mean, they got some talented receivers. Then you also go to the running back room. They have Joe Mixon, man. He's a very talented running back. So, if the Saints can get Michael Thomas back, like they're saying, he's expected to play. He just didn't practice today. Maybe we'll see some practice from him tomorrow and Friday. That'll be a good sign. If not, then Michael Thomas most likely won't play against the Bengals if he doesn't practice. So hopefully we get Thomas, Jarvis, and Olave back for this weekend, because it'll be fun to watch the Bengals versus the Saints with both teams having healthy offense. It will be so much fun to watch. It'll probably be like the Seahawks game. It might be like a little shootout back and forth, because both teams are very talented. Some other news, I gotta find it again for y'all. So give me 1 second, because I I tweeted it out, retweeted it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it is, right here, from Mr. Nick Underhill. I'm about to share the screen with y'all real quick. And by the way, we was talking about this last night on the podcast about a running back, right? Well, the Saints did sign running back Jordan Howard to the practice squad. Per sources, Howard appeared in 7 games last year for the Eagles last season and averaged about 4.7 yards per attempt on 86 carries. And that is a need there, because you lost Latavius Murray and you lost Tony Jones Jr. Once you weighed them, the Seahawks picked them up because their running back, Rashid Penning, is hurt. So, welcome to the team, Jordan Howard. You was one of the running backs that I was hoping the Saints would have picked up, and I'm glad to have you. Hopefully, you good to go Sunday. But like I said, this playbook is definitely a hard playbook to learn. But you should be familiar with it a little bit, because you was on our practice squad, if I'm not mistaken, for a little bit last year, and then you got I think claimed, off of our practice squad. So Jordan Howard, welcome to the team, my brother. Let's see if you can compete for that number 2 spot against Mark Ingram, who looks like he is struggling a little bit. Now, another thing I want y'all to know is, and we talked about it last night, Deontay Hardy is most likely done for the season with his turf toe, and it's supposedly really bad to where he's gonna have to get surgery on it and be out for the season. Now, we was all talking about it and said, well, if that happens, who's going to be the guy? Is it going to be Rashid Shaheed, or is Callaway going to continue to take snaps over there? Is it going to be Taysom Hill to continue to take snaps? And I said, well, the reason why Rashid Shaheed didn't do it at the game was because he was on the practice squad. You can't elevate anybody off the practice squad during the game. So I figured that Rashid Shaheed will get his chance. And yesterday, they tweeted out Rashid Shaheed is going to have a shot at is going to be getting called up this week, and he's going to play this weekend at punt return slash kick returns, special teams. Now, I do want to let y'all listen to this real quick. Rashid Shaheed was asked in an interview today, about coming to be a starter, coming have an opportunity. So here is Mr. Rashid Shaheed for y'all.
You really kind of feel like, all right, I'm back, like this is me?
I'd say probably around like the 8 month mark after that. Once I got here and started working with JG, we worked every single day hard. And once I started to push it a little bit and started making cuts and running routes and everything, I started to feel like, man, I feel pretty good. So once that was in my head, I never looked back from there.
Do you expect the how do you feel with the offense? Are you comfortable with all the stuff there?
Yeah, no, it's definitely coming. It's coming a lot easier for me. It's more fluid now with everything, and it's definitely like second nature for me now. So it's improved time.
Is it a lot different, man, trying to catch kicks in the dome?
Just a little bit. The ball might hang up a little bit higher just because if there's no wind or air or anything like that. But it's a little bit different, not too different.
The lighting,
no, not a big. The lights are very bright in there actually, so it makes it pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like you're going to be in the return game. Riz is a guy who's fairly aggressive in that area.
Yeah.
How much do you look forward to that? To have a guy saying, "Hey, you feel good, go."
Yeah, no, it feels great to have a guy like that have confidence in me that I can stand back there and return kicks for him. He's a coach that you want to play for and want to make plays for. He's been very accepting of it. I talked to him yesterday, and he's excited for me and the opportunity that I get. So, yeah, I'm excited, very excited.
How do you just feel about this opportunity? I'm guessing you were kind of envisioning this when you picked this spot after the draft, and here probably maybe a little quicker than you expected. Like, just how do you feel about kind of how things have played out?
Right. Well, it's just exciting. It's everything that I've asked for since I've been here. I've been doing everything that they asked me to do, and now that I get a chance to play on Sunday, it's a dream, and I won't take it for granted. Just every play that I get, just go full speed and just give everything that I have, and that's all I can do.
You shout Taysom back there, son. You do your time, probably.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, he did a great job. But hey, I want to get a chance to. So
I'm sure you feel good about how things have worked out, but like when you tore the ACL and then you don't get drafted, were you frustrated at all during that process?
Absolutely, it was a very frustrating process. It was a long process. It happened at a very a bad time in my last game of my college career. So, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head, but I had a lot of people around me to keep me grounded and keep my mind right. And I worked with a lot of great PTs, and yeah, I'm the reason why I'm here today. So I'm very thankful for it all.
What was that transition like for you? You said the junior year college when you first started. Like, how did that kind of even come about? Like, why did they say that?
Honestly,
you never did high school at all?
No, I never returned to high school. Not once. But just for my kick return ability, they were like, with the ball in your hands, you can make plays. So I feel like we could throw you back there, and the best is going to happen. So that's what they did, and I never look back. It's worked out pretty well.
And y'all heard it. That is Mr. Rashid Shaheed, man. The man is going to have a chance this Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals, man, to do special teams, returning for the kickoffs and for the punt returns. And you heard him. He's super excited, man. Couldn't wait for the opportunity, man. And he said he's not going to take this for granted, man. He's going to do whatever he can to show what he's made of. And if nobody knows, just go look up Rashid Shaheed's highlights. Go look up his college highlights, and you're gonna see how good of a return man this man was. They said that in college, man, he was making highlights up in there. Especially with the kick returns and punt returns. This man is a speedster. He's basically just like another Deontay Hardy type of speedster. So I wouldn't be surprised if they draw up some plays for Rashid Shaheed this weekend too, since you're gonna have him out there. Most teams don't know who the man is, like that. They don't have film study besides college films, so you don't know how the young man's gonna play. So if you draw up some quick plays, some maybe some jet sweeps, stuff like that, quick screen, quick screen to him, and let him just use his speed and his playmaking skills. We can see what receipts that he's got, man. So congratulations to receipts that man. He's getting his opportunity. Super excited to see what this young man can bring to the table. Also, I did want to talk about this offense. So the offense looks like it's finally getting the momentum, and they finally looking like they kind of know what they're doing. They finally getting their identity together. But at the same time, there's still some stuff that we've seen since week one, and it's over and over and over again that we need to clean up. And those are stupid penalties that are shooting ourselves in the foot, basically, because um, with the penalty situation, you get a big play for a first down, and it gets called back because you was holding, or you was false start, or legal formation, or whatever, you know, the flag could be. So we need to control our penalties. I think we like the second or basically the last most penalized teams right now. I think it's us and the Seahawks fighting for that to see who's the most penalized team. So Saints offense, y'all need to clean that up. Second of all, another thing that we need to fix and clean up on offense that we've been seeing since week one is the fumbles. Kamara fumbled again this weekend. Um, Ingram been fumbling. So I mean, I think we had 3 fumbles in the first half this past weekend. But this is where I can say, on the positive side, on why I think this team is getting their identity together a little bit. You noticed the first 3 weeks when Jameis was in the game, even though he had his 4 fractured backs and he wasn't playing to the best. Once we fumbled the damn ball, they just gave up on the run play. They said, "F it, I'm not running the ball ever again." So what happened? You was passing the ball so much with a dude with 4 fractures in his back. That's a no-no already. You don't want to throw 40, 50 times a game with a guy that has 4 fractures in his back. You just stop running because you was mad because we fumbled. That's not how you do it. If somebody fumbles, just take that person up, put somebody else, and keep running the ball. Because the run game is our strength right now. The O line is doing fantastic on runs, man. They are opening up the holes and everything. So as long as we keep the run game going and keep feeding Taysom Hill the ball, feeding Kamara the ball, and we'll see if Jordan Howard's gonna get some play time this weekend. Could we decide Jordan Howard, like I said earlier during the podcast? So we'll see what he does if he gets to play. So just keep feeding the ball, get that run game going because that is your strength right now. So running the ball should be first on our list. We should be a run first team right now. Second of all, once you do get your starting quarterback, which is Jameis Winston, healthy, and he's able to come back, there's one thing that I like about Jameis, and everybody should know this. Jameis strives and is at his best when he does play action. And guess what? How do you form the play action play? How do you able to run these a lot? If your run game is going good, you can confuse defense because they're gonna, you know, pick a play to box you and try to stop the run. But in reality, you're doing a play action. There's your deep ball passes to Olave. Maybe a guy like Rashid Shaheed, depending on what he does this weekend. So I'm saying it's going to open up a lot more for our offense, which I can't wait to see. But I also want to give credit to my boy Andy Dalton because he's been doing his thing so far. Vikings games, he could have won that. We should have won that one. But we shot ourselves in the foot with penalties, turnovers, and some bullshit calls. Um, at the end, that kind of screwed us. So, and then last game, he won. He did draw a pick, but other than that, he did his thing. He got the first downs, on some really big plays when we needed to. He got the ball in the hands of the playmakers to the people that was open. So they nothing I can do. I can't complain about Andy Dalton right now. So the offense is looking like they finally getting somewhere. Chris Olave, he's a dog. He can be a number one receiver for us. I think he is our number one right now, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping the brother is healthy enough to play this weekend. If not, we'll definitely probably see him against the Cardinals. Um, Now you jump to the defensive side. The defensive side need to get their shit together. We can't be allowing all these touchdowns now because the offense was actually doing pretty good against the Seahawks and was keeping the other team off the field and keeping you off the field for you can rest, and y'all started allowing big plays down the field. Yes, I do understand that we are thin at DBs right now because of Marcus May was out. Paulson Adebo was out for a little bit, and then he came back. Um, you lost Alante Taylor, your second round pick, because he's on IR. You lost PJ Williams now. So like you very thin. You had like JT Gray, your special team guy, playing that position in the backfield. You know, you had Daniel Sorensen on one play guarding DK Metcalf. I'm like, oh Lord, here's a touchdown. Yeah, it was a touchdown, but not on DK and on Daniel Sorensen. It was with Tyler Lockett in the end zone. So we definitely need to clean this up. Hopefully, Lattimore did get hurt, y'all, and on the injury report it said he did not practice today. Hopefully the brother can play this Sunday. We'll have hopefully Lattimore, Paulson Adebo. Marcus May is another player that was limited today. He was finally back at practice, so we're hoping to get Marcus May back. And if we do get Marcus May, that would be a great addition. You got Tyron Matthew in the backfield. And I think I would feel more comfortable with that backfield than what we had last week. Also, I don't know about y'all. The D line looks like they finally getting their stuff together, right? Um, Finally getting some sacks. Cameron Jordan looking good. Davenport put in pressure. He might not be getting the sacks, but the man is putting pressure on these people. Um, I think the D line's finally getting together. And don't forget, the Bengals O line, even though they were trash last year, and even though they added 3 Pro Bowlers this year, they still allowing a shitload of sacks. So until they get their stuff together, the Saints should be eating on this team, especially on that D line. They should be getting to Joe Burrow at least 5 to 6 times this game. They should, because that O line has not been good for Joe Burrow, and we need to put pressure on him. Now, I was talking to Mr. T.J. Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast last night, and I asked him about what should we do to beat the Bengals? And I love what he said. He thinks we should run the defense that we do against Tampa Bay. Rush 4, rush 3, whatever you want to rush, and keep more defenders out there because they have a talented receiving core, just like Tampa Bay does with, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones and stuff like that. They got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. They got some talented receivers. So I think I totally agree with them. I would do the same thing. Do what you got to do to Tom Brady. Rush was forward. The O line hasn't been holding up, so it makes it makes a lot of sense to me. Definitely makes a lot of sense to me. Um, so I think that's the type of defense I would like to see us run against the Bengals. Also, Demario Davis looks like himself again. The man's blissing, covering really well. And like somebody posted on Twitter the other day, the man's 33 years old and you wouldn't even notice it by his gameplay. Demario Davis is a dog on the field. But we all wish we could have had Kawan back, right? We all love Kawan. But guess what? Pete Werner is a damn dog next to Demario Davis. Damn. This dude leads the league right now in solo tackles. The man has been balling out. And yes, speaking of our boy, Pete Werner, baby, we're going to listen to his interview that happened today and listen to him talk real quick. And then after that, I'm going to finish up on the defense and stuff. And then I'll bring everybody on that is waiting back there. So who that to everybody that is tuning in. I see we got 45 plus watching. Make sure y'all smack that like button if y'all haven't already. Make sure you turn your notifications on. And also hit that damn subscribe button if you haven't already. And here we go. We're about to play Mr. Pete Werner, man. Let's listen to what he's got to say. And this will be basically the last video for y'all to listen to.
When you talk about someone that is because of that way he carries himself, I guess that swag in a sense, is that what kind of, I guess, makes him successful?
Yeah, and I think it's within him. I think he was taught that at a young age, and it's just always stuck with him, and I think he just continues to take it out day by day.
You all, I mean,
I knew you crossed paths maybe briefly, but like you all friends, do you still have a relationship?
Yeah. Joe and I will talk frequently, as well as like Sam Hubbard, those guys that were at Ohio State that are with Cincinnati. So we got a little group chat that we keep in touch with guys back at Ohio State. But again, it'll be good to see him on the field.
If you think about it, his story is
Incredible.
crazy. Huh?
It's incredible. Yeah. I was just thankful to be with him at the start at Ohio State, but once he left, I knew he was going to have great success. So I was thankful for him at the time, and obviously to see him do as well as he's done, I knew it was going to happen.
What makes him such a great presence, I guess?
As far as on the field,
just everything. It seems like people just for whatever reason they gravitate to him.
Yeah, I just think he's the guy you want to be around. Just a great personality, very competitive, very positive about everything. Not a lot of negative things come out of his mouth. Just a guy you want to be surrounded with because you know that you're going to become a better person because of it.
This offense in general around with the Bengals. I mean, they've got some weapons around and make them successful as well. What are some of the guys that are standing out that you guys are like, all right, we have to keep them in check for success?
Yeah, we're gonna have a good game plan going in. We just know that they got a lot of threats. Number one, he's a very good player, Chase, and obviously a lot of it's going to start with the runner too. So keeping him contained, he gets the ball quick. So we just got to handle the threats, be in the right position. We should be good to go.
You all are so good on third down, but the big plays. Do you look at those more as like an anomaly, or how do you kind of quantify like good on third down, too many big plays?
Yeah, it's weird to think because we have really good third down numbers, very good red zone percentage, but we give a lot of explosive plays and we're not creating enough takeovers, turnovers. So if we get those numbers up, we're going to be a really good defense. Obviously, you want to eliminate the explosive plays, but if we continue to do well in third down in the red zone, we got to increase those turnovers to be successful.
What do you think makes you guys so good in the red zone?
I think we just trust our keys. We got good players and we lock down coverage, stop the run. But I think our coaches just have a good plan for us and we go out and execute.
If he makes a big play, or cheering at your stadium, does that matter to you as a player?
Are you talking about Joe?
Joe, yeah. If they make a play and then all of a sudden the crowd goes wild and Saints game.
I don't think that would happen at the Saints game. He makes a big play. I think it's all about the Saints. I wouldn't see our team, our fans doing that. I think they want us to win, but obviously he's going to make some plays. But I think at least if I'm a fan out there. If I see a big play by him, I'm not going to be happy. So I guess we're going to have that mindset going forward.
Everything that we do for Dome.
You heard it from Mr. Pete Werner, man. Like I said, this dude leads the league in tackles, solo tackles, with, I think, 37 right now through week 5. Pete Werner is playing out of his mind. Congratulations to Pete Werner. I'm glad we got this man. And like I've been telling people since last year, I really do feel like Pete Werner could be a Luke Kuechly. He reminds me a lot of him. But it's only his second year, and the dude can develop and get better and better as the year goes on. So the defensive side, I think to be successful against the Cincinnati Bengals offense, who is really talented, like I said, run the damn defense like you do against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Rush 4. The O-line has not been great. Yes, the O-line has not been great. So you rush 4, you get to them. You got more defenders on the field to be able to contain those other weapons that they have. The Saints do have a good shot. And like I said, on the offensive side, they allow a lot of rushing yards against other teams. If you watch the Ravens games, I think the Ravens got 155 rushing yards on them. We just got over 220-something rushing yards on the Seahawks. So if we keep that momentum going, that's just going to open up more holes and more plays for some play-action plays and some more passing, So I can't wait for this game. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch. I went over the injury reports with y'all. I went over Jordan Howard has been signed. Like I said, he signed. I gave y'all some interviews to hear and listen to from the other players. So guess what? It's now time to bring on my people that are back here waiting to chat it up with me. So if y'all want to, click the damn link that's pinned to the top. Come chat it up with your boy, and let's talk some Saints football, man. And hey, if you ain't a Saints fan and you in here, hey, click the link. Come talk it up with us. Don't matter. I'd like to know. Um, and let me give a special shout out to everybody else that kind of started rolling in. I see Pammy Whammy's in the building. Who that to you, my queen? We got Gunnum in the building. Who that to you? We got Mr. Eugene Sutherland. Who that to you? I see Ian Butler sold up in here. Who that to you? Let's see. They're trying to see if anybody else maybe knew. Yep, Miss Megan. Go Hawks and who that to you? I see you as well. You popped in. Derek L in the building. Who that to you? I see my brother DeWright. Who that to you, DeWright? Let's see. Let's scroll back down a little bit. Maybe we'll catch some other people. OG Stoner. Who that to you? We got Jay Cheney. Who that to you? 504 Co. Who that to you, my brother? I see Tim Dunn as well. Who that to you? So who that to everybody that's in the chat, man. So let's bring on our first guest that's waiting to come on, and that is my man, Mr. Ian. How you doing, Ian?
What's going on, Hoodie? Man, I just put in the chat earlier. I told JGP I just got my voice back this morning. From Sunday. I remember I told y'all I was going to the game. That was wild.
It was wild, huh?
Man, that was one of the most exciting games that I've been to in recent memory. And you know, the first thing that I want to say is I'm going to start with the negative and then go to the positive. What's up with these big plays that we've been giving up? It seemed like every time the Seahawks scored, it was on a big play. They couldn't score in the red zone. Every time they scored was from deep. You know, so we gotta clean that up. But man, when it mattered, I mean, how about number 7? Look at him go. They utilized that guy like amazingly. Taysom Hill was great. And I mean, everybody's been looking for the screen pass. Carmichael finally draws up the screen and it goes for almost 60 yards to Kamara. And so you know, I don't know if the way that we ran the offense against the Seahawks is gonna work going forward, but I mean, it is a big step in the right direction. And then on the defensive side of the ball, how about the old man, the guy who's in the background of my picture there? How about Cam Jordan being Cam Jordan? He is a menace. I don't know if anybody else watches wrestling, but there's a wrestler who's been like abusing the Miz as of recent. His name is Dexter Loomis. That is what Cam Jordan has been to opposing NFL quarterbacks. The man is a menace.
That is a good comparison too, because that's Cameron Jordan's type of personality too. That's who he kind of reminds me of, man. That's funny. That is kind of funny to talk about.
Of Dexter Loomis, yeah, very similar.
Yeah, it's his personality. It's just like his he can just be odd and weird sometimes, but be funny as hell. So
yeah,
he reminds me of that, man. And while you was at the game, man, yes, Mr. Taysom Hill went off. Man, I'm so glad to see that you utilizing your weapons. You knew Michael Thomas and Jarvis wasn't playing. You knew Chris Olave got hurt; he couldn't play for the rest of the game. So you know the only weapons you had left was Kamara and Taysom, and you used them. And I'm glad to see that. And Ian, I know the first half wasn't pretty with 3 fumbles, but I know you was happy as hell when you seen them to keep going with the run game and not just give up in the first half and say, I'm not running the ball in the second half and make it all rely off of this Andy Dalton. Because I think if that would have happened, I felt like we would have won that game because I felt like Taysom took the load, took everything, put it on his shoulder and said, let's get this W.
That was one of the things that a lot of us, you know, at the game noticed. I'm sure y'all noticed as well. One of my keys to the game that you and I talked about last week was, you know, kind of not allowing Geno Smith to become a confident passer, because if we allowed him to become a confident passer, he can and he will be a problem, and he showed us that he can and will be a problem. Geno was fantastic. I mean, you can't take anything away from that guy, and so on our end, how are we going to combat that? Well, the way that we decided to do it was running the ball, and the time of possession wasn't even close. That was one of the best things about it. You know, we've struggled getting first downs, but in the game on Sunday, we got those first downs. We kept Geno off the field for long periods of time. You know, and another thing, we forced turnovers. Now, I mean, I'm not really sure if that DK Metcalf fumble was a fumble, but it was a call that worked in our favor, and we got it back, and you know, we did what we did. But another thing, you know, something that makes Taysom Hill so dynamic is, you know, a lot of us that were watching the game live, we're like, oh, he's gonna run this time. Oh, he's gonna run again. Oh, he's gonna run again. Oh, he's never gonna pull it back and throw it. He's just gonna keep on running it. The Seahawks can't stop it anyway. He's never gonna pull it back and throw. And then the one time that everybody in their mind, the Seahawks defense thought that he was gonna run, we all thought he was gonna run. The one time that we thought that he was gonna run again, he pulls it, he keeps it himself, and throws a beautiful strike to Adam Troutman for a touchdown.
And that was a beauty pass, because they didn't know what was going to happen. Also, don't want to get too off the topic from that game. I see that 504 coach said Jordan Howard was a good sign, and hopefully he has something left in the tank. 504 co, this brother I think's got a lot left in the tank, to be honest with you. If you look him up, he's 27 years old. Kamara is 27 years old. They're both the same age. I think this brother still got a lot. They just felt more comfortable having Miles Sanders as their number one, and they felt like they were just going to use him a lot, and that's why they let him go. And guess what? Jordan Howard's with us right now on the practice squad, and I think he would do just fine as our number 2. And I think Mark Ingram's going to be your number 3, basically your hype man on the sideline, keeping us hyped the whole game. But yeah, back to the to the Seahawks game, man. I know you said you had a great time. You lost your voice, screaming in that Superdome. I know it got loud up in that sucker, but what was your thoughts on? I know you said a lot of deep plays happened and stuff like that, but I mean, you do gotta say we gotta be impressed with the defense on some of these plays and some of these drives where you thought they were gonna get a touchdown and we just stop them for field goals, and stuff like that. Because like I don't know what it is. It's like once we get an offense, and we get them in that red zone, it's hard for them to score. And it's just always, like you said, those deep plays when that happens. So.
I mean, definitely. It's almost like at this point, I kind of want the opposing offenses to get within that, that 20-yard range, so that they're kicking field goals. Because it seems like if they cross the 50 and they can't get to that to that red zone, then they're going to score. Because I mean, granted, I think it was J.T. Gray, or was it Justin Evans? I'm not sure which one of the two of them it was, but it was one of those two. Right before halftime, when we ended up fumbling the ball and the Seahawks got it, and they threw that strike to Tyler, which was a gorgeous pass from Geno Smith. I mean, how he got that ball in there was nothing short of amazing. So you gotta give your hats off to him for doing that. But I mean, nobody's supposed to get behind a safety, not at that point in the game, and they were just behind him. And I think Paulson and Debo, he kind of let that space happen, because he's like, so there's not much space between me and the safety, so if I let him get a little bit past, then the safety will pick him up, because there's not much room between us and the back of the end zone. But when you have a quarterback who can put that ball on the money the way that Geno did, there's nothing anybody else can do when you give him that space. And as we saw, he was in the perfect spot, in the perfect space in the middle of the field to be able to catch that ball. So that was the touchdown pass to Lockett. I mean, on the deep pass in the first quarter that went to DK for their first touchdown, that would, to me, it seemed like a busted coverage where we kind of tried to get out to Geno and couldn't. And then once he got it out, DK is just too big and strong and fast to be tackled, and he, juked and jived and spun his way into the end zone. Then you had the big long run by number 9. I forget his name, but it wasn't Penny, because Penny got hurt.
Kenneth Walker.
Okay, yeah, you had the big, and he's a rookie. So, I mean, so you let the rookie get a big, long run on you. But, I mean, I think there's also something to say about, you're allowing these big plays, but then you were able to control the game enough that it never really seemed like, those big plays hurt us that badly. Because, granted, we should never have been, like in the fourth quarter when we were down, we should never have been down again, because we had a double-digit lead. We gave up a double-digit lead in that game. So that's something that we should look at, as well as a negative. But it never seemed like there was a chance that we lost that game. You know, on a lot of those key third downs where in games 1 through 4 it kind of seemed like we would have given up those those third down conversions. We weren't giving that up. We were getting the Seahawks offense off the field regularly. I keep mentioning once when they scored, it was always from a long play. So on the defensive side, and we got some more pressure. The game winner was a Cam Jordan sack. I think he had another sack in the second quarter as well. Uh, so you're getting more pressure. We saw it last week on a busted up offensive line. The Seahawks offensive line did a very good job, but they're just not there. Like you were mentioning a minute ago, the Bengals offensive line is not very good either. So there should be opportunities for pressure against Burrow this Sunday as well. But a lot of the players were talking about putting together a team effort game. This felt like that game. To me, it felt like a game where everybody on the team played well with what we had. When Olave went down, it didn't seem like there was a drop off. People stepped up. Jawan Johnson stepped up. Traquan Smith, though he had a good/bad game, he stepped up when the time was right. Chapman had dropped a touchdown pass earlier in the game. He stepped up when the time was right. And he dropped that pass on what was some very good defense as well. So you had a lot of people step up in this game. Anybody that had a question about Alvin Kamara and his ability can shut up, can sit down and shut up, because I think Alvin Kamara showed that he is still that dude.
Yep, he was just injured, so he's coming on healthy.
Right, and I feel the same way about Winston. A healthy Winston is not even making some of those mistakes, even though Alvin did have a fumble, and that is inexcusable because we've had too many of those. Taysom Hill had one as well. Deontay Hardy had one. Those two didn't affect the game because they got him back, but we gotta start holding on to the ball more often. We worked on penalties this week because we weren't penalized nearly as much. And then we even got a bum call because on 3rd and 4 we got hit with a false start that was actually a neutral zone infraction. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that one for sure.
Yeah. So even with that would have been a drive when the Seahawks wouldn't have got the ball. It would have still been our ball, and we could have continued our drive. But the referees blew that one. So instead of it being first down, it was 4th and 9. We still had to punt. So much better showing against a team that's not very good. But the Seahawks are going to beat a lot of teams this year. They really are.
Oh yeah, they're gonna sock a lot of people with the way Geno Smith been playing. So it's just their defense. Like I told Megan on the podcast, I think it was Monday. We had a podcast and she was on. And I told her this. I said, your team right now reminds me of the 2011 Saints when we had that bounty gate and we had the number 1, number 2 offense in the league, but we had the worst defense, and we was 7-9 was our record, and we were scoring 40 plus points a game, but still losing because we was allowing almost 50 points per game on defense, and it was just sad. And it was like I felt like that was the waste of Drew Brees, Tom here when that shit happened, when we went 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. So I think that's who the Seahawks remind me of right now, of the 2011 Bounty Gate Saints, where you're just so damn good on offense, but your defense is so trash. So
I want to ask somebody in chat, Miss Barbara, what are some of those issues that you were seeing? Because a lot of the issues that I had been kind of preaching about, and a lot of other Saints fans have too. A lot of those were cleaned up. The biggest one being turnovers. You only had 2 turnovers. You fumbled the ball 3 times, but only one of those fumbles was a turnover, and our only other turnover was a bad pass by Dalton. I mean, a pass that he's gonna want back to Traquan Smith. And a lot of people think that Traquan could have done more to prevent that interception because the defensive player was kind of forcing him out of bounds, which is what the defensive player is supposed to do. And Traquan wasn't really fighting to try and stop him from doing that, or at least it didn't seem that way. So that interception to me is partially on Traquan Smith, but then again it was just a bad pass by Dalton. So you only turned the ball over twice, you fumbled 3 times, but you also got some turnovers yourself. We had we had the fumbles. Uh, so to that degree, turnovers wasn't as big of a problem this week as they had been. The penalties weren't as big of a problem as they had been. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know for a fact that the Seahawks were penalized more than we were. They had a lot of holding issues on their end, some holding calls that weren't called, that probably should have been. One call when Pete Werner was getting held so bad. No, that was Caden Ellis, where Caden Ellis was being held so bad that he just had to throw his hands in the air to get the call. So problems like that weren't as bad. We converted on third down much better than we had. So I mean, to the degree of the problems that had been plaguing us, I don't see that. Now, another thing that had been plaguing us that plagued us again was the long plays that we giving up on defense. We're not giving up short stuff, but but when we do, I'm sorry, we're not giving up much, but when we do, it's big stuff that we're giving up. So I'm curious to see. Okay, so she's saying fumbles, interceptions, defensive laps. Okay, so yeah, same thing. Same thing as I'm saying. You're giving up big plays on defense. You're turning the ball over. You're getting penalized. Those things weren't as bad against the Seahawks to me.
I mean, two turnovers is kind of bad, because I mean, if you played a better team, you probably could have lost.
Right.
So,
but if you're but if you're getting the ball back, that's what I'm saying. Your turnover differential is always the big number that everybody looks at. Not necessarily how many times you turn the ball over, but if your defense is getting those turnovers back, it hurts less.
Yeah. Let's see. By the way, I do want to share this with y'all real quick, and then we'll bring on the next person to come chat it up with us. Ian Rappaport posted it. They said former Rams running back Jake Funk, who cleared waivers today, is signing with the Saints practice squad. Sources said he has several offers, but chose this opportunity. So, Jake Funk, I don't know who you are. I'm gonna have to go look up your highlights and see who the hell you are. But welcome to the team. Welcome. But let's bring on the next person that's waiting back here, and that is the young Saints-minded man over here, our boy, Michael. How you doing, Michael? Oh, we can't hear you, brother.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
You're not on mute either. Try to reconnect your headphones or plug them in. Are your headphones plugged in? Let's see. I don't hear you. All right, so try to replug your headphones in and reconnect them, and then leave and come back and see if it'll work. And then we'll bring you right back on.
Hoodie, while he's doing that, can you pull up the stats? I'd like to see the penalty yardage from week 5.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm sorry, from week 6 if you can. No, was that 5 or 6? That was week 5.
I got you. Let's see.
Usually I have that sitting next to me, but I don't have it today.
Yeah, you good? I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna look up Seahawks team stats.
Tim Dunn, I see you say that the Honey Badgers tackling is questionable. He did have a really big tackle on a third down where he dragged the running back was trying to run him over, and he dragged that boy out of bounds to prevent him from getting the first down. So maybe it's not necessarily that his tackling is questionable. Maybe he just has to do it in a different way because he was literally dragging him out of bounds, preventing him from getting that first down.
Yep. Hey, you know what's crazy though? Even though the Seahawks scored 32 points right here, 32. Look how many first downs they had off of passing and run. They only got 13 first down. We got more than 13 first downs just off of run plays.
Yeah, that's significant right there, big time.
Yep. But the reason why they stayed in it was because not only did they get first down, they got touchdowns on some big plays, and that's where we messed up. If the Saints didn't allow them big plays, the score would have been worse. It would have been like 39-14.
That's
Would have
it.
been a blowout. So that's easy stuff. I think the Saints can clean up. Now you said you wanted to look at the penalty things, right?
Yeah, penalties and time of possession as well, if you can.
So Saints had 6 penalties for 57 yards. Seahawks had 12 of them for 85 yards.
Yeah, see stuff like that's big. So you're only getting penalized 6 times. 6 to some teams is a lot, but for us, especially with 2 penalties on the same drive last week in London, for almost half the length of the field, that's 47 yards. That's a big deal. And the Seahawks getting penalized for almost a whole touchdown drive. I mean, you're thinking a touchdown drive is 75 yards. That's 84 yards. So that's more than that. What's that time of possession? Is that 37?
37 minutes. And they had 22 minutes, so we had them beat up by 15 minutes. We did have 2 turnovers compared to their 1, so they beat us in the turnover ratio. But if you look at the red zone, when they got in the red zone, we stopped them. They couldn't stop us in the red zone. That's a good sign. Like I said, I think we played really good, but we shot ourselves in the foot with the turnovers that made us look a little bit worse than what it was. The penalties here and there, like I said, on certain big plays where you thought you had the big play, got brought back because of stupid shit. And then you allowed big plays, like we said, on the defensive side. If none of that would have happened, you would have cleaned that up, this game would have been a blowout. That's how
And
close we were.
and you're also thinking about when that Kamara fumbled happened at the end of the second quarter, given the Seahawks the ball on our side of the field. Remember when Dalton fumbled late in the second quarter against Minnesota and putting them in field goal range, and they kicked the field goal. We lost by a field goal. So late in quarters like that, especially late in the half, and you're turning the ball over. That's a game changing thing. We gave the ball up late in the second quarter and immediately gave up a touchdown to the Seahawks. You had a 19. I'm sorry. No, what was the score at that point? It was 17-13. That was the score. It was 17-13. And you can go up 20-13 or even 24-13 at that point, and you gave the ball up, and now it's 19-17. So now you're down at the half.
Also, we can look at this too. The offensive line did great. Remember, for the run game, open up the line, open up the holes. But look at this. They only allowed 1 sack for 6 yards. We sacked them 3 times for 23 yards. That's another great thing. You allowed your quarterback to get sacked only once this game. Not multiple times, once. So Saints did a whole lot better this week. So let's just go down the list. Seahawks had 15 first downs, while the Saints had 26 first downs. We both had 9 first downs off of passings, but they only had 4 first downs off of rushing. We had 14 rushing first downs. That's huge. First downs from penalties, they got 2 first downs from penalties. We had 3 first downs from the penalties. Now on third down, we were 8 for 14. They were 1-9 on third down. 1-9. And look how close the game were. Why again? Big plays. Big explosive plays is what kept them in this game.
And see, I hadn't even, I didn't know that stat, but I'm glad you brought that up, because even just watching the game as a spectator, you could tell that our defense was getting off the field. On those third downs, they had to punt the ball often.
Yep. And then you look at the total plays. They didn't even run 50 plays. They ran 49. We ran 74 damn plays. But if you look at it, if you go down the line, be like, how the hell did this game even stay in it like this? Like, their offense didn't do nothing, da-da-da-da-da. If you look at it, though, they had 396 total yards off of 49 plays. We had 438 off of 74 plays.
Right.
They almost had the same amount of yards, just about. I mean, what's this? It's like 42 yards. Yeah, 42. We had 42 extra yards than them off of 25 more plays. Just think of that.
Does that website have the scoring plays? If you look at the scoring plays, the majority of that yardage came off just the scoring plays.
Yep. Big plays. 2 big plays to Tyler Lockett is what they got a lot of big plays from. So I mean, like I said, other than that, we did good. Look at Gino. We kept him only have 16 completions out of 25, while we completed 17 for 25. Their yard per pass was 8.8. Ours was 7.8. They didn't throw no picks. We did. That's why I'm saying we got to make sure we don't do no picks or fumbles this week against the Bengals. I would love to see no turnovers, no big penalties, and the same type of performance on the running and the passing. I think we can win y'all easily. Rushing yards, they had 151 rushing yards. We had 235 rushing yards.
That's
Rushing
big.
attempts, they had 21 rushing attempts. We had 48 rushing attempts.
That's
Um,
big.
so we did really good. They beat us on yards per rush, 7.2, because a big explosive plays helped that out. While we had 4.9, which we had a lot of big explosive plays too. Run plays with Taysom Hill, like God damn Taysom Hill. We're gonna keep talking about you. But other than that, man, we did really good against the Seahawks, and now we're gonna be going on to the Bengals. But let me bring on my boy Michael because I see if his mic is fixed again. Hey, Michael, you got it fixed?
How can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
All right, good. So first of all, not a lot of people are bringing this up. Andy Dalton used to play for the Bengals, and I'm not saying that he hates the Bengals because this is a revenge game. But just imagine if he beats his old team.
Yeah, he beat his old team twice already.
Yeah. But that would be insane. And also, how you doing, Eli Apple? Coming back to New Orleans. You ready? Did you get your breakfast in you yet? So you can get burned? Are you ready? Are you ready to taste this defeat? Are you ready to get your ankles turfed into the ground? And yes, I meant to say turfed. Do not correct me. I meant to say turf. Because that's where you're going to live on Sunday. And I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to show up.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to see everyone burn you.
You better get loud, Michael.
You know you should do. You should bring a Ziploc bag full of burnt piece of toast and just throw it at them.
Sure, I should.
Don't do that. Don't do
No.
I'm going to get banned from no stadium.
No, you don't want to take no burnt piece of toast and just throw it at them? I think that would be pretty funny, yo.
Michael, if you do that, you're a young kid. Listen, if you do that, you have a long time to live. You have a lot of Saints games left. They will never let you go again. Don't do that.
Yeah. Man, but like Eli Apple, I'm not done with you yet, dude. Ever since last year, New Orleans is the worst place I've ever been at. Shut up, dude. You're Cincinnati. You're the reason that the Bengals didn't win no Super Bowl last year. So you should shut up. Mr. I only got 13 tackles and 0 interceptions this year.
Ooh.
Like, shut up. No one cares about you, Eli Apple.
Demetrius in the chat just said, let me get it verbatim. He said, hopefully MT is available to do said burning. Let me tell you something, Demetrius. Michael Thomas is going to be chomping at the bit. He probably could have played this past week, but I mean, you know, him and Jarvis Landry are kind of taking it slow so that, you know, these injuries don't keep nagging him. He's going to be chomping at the bit to get into that game on Sunday because Eli Apple is public enemy number 1, and he knows it. I don't think that he thought it through when he made those comments that he would ever have to return here. But this Sunday, he's going to have to pay the piper.
Yeah, in fact, y'all can see I decorated for Halloween. And Eli Apple, you know it's going to be scary? Your fans, if you even have any left, they're going to be scared watching you play scared because if Michael Thomas does play, and if you're guarding Michael Thomas, which I don't know why you should, but if you are for some stupid reason, you really think you're going to guard Michael Thomas? You can't guard no Cooper Kupp. I bet you can't even guard a guy like, I don't know, who's the worst receiver? I bet you couldn't even guard Kevin White if you wanted to. Like, dude, you are by far at least top 10 worst cornerbacks, dude. You are a freaking draft bust. No one cares about you. Not even Bengal fans even want to see you, dude. Like, dude, you're the reason that no Bengal fans are able to celebrate. So, dude, the only thing that I would be celebrating is watching you get carved up like the secondary on Sunday. But, dude, Eli Apple, you're ready to taste the turf because that's going to be your home for 3 hours, dude. Because all the Saints are going to do every single pass play, what they should do is just throw it at you because you ain't gonna guard nobody, dude. You can't even guard a ghost if you had to. You can't even guard the ground if you had to.
Not the ghost.
He can't even guard you. He can't even guard you, Michael.
Exactly, like dude, Eli Apple. Dude, if
You know
I was
he
a
can't even
receiver, I
guard.
would carve you up, dude.
You know what else he can't guard? He can't even guard a piece of burnt toast. Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. But yeah, on Eli Apple, ever since last year, before last year, obviously you sucked for everybody, but I had a little bit of respect to you until you made those stupid comments. And then all my respect for you, gone, dead, in the ground where you're going to be, Eli. And I have not forgot anything, dude.
Did y'all see the meme of all the Bengals?
He live his best
Did
life.
y'all see the meme of all the Bengals
What's up,
players?
J-Live?
Oh, what's up? What's up, man? Did y'all see the meme of all the Bengals players cutting the cake?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What up, J-Live? 504, how
All
you
right,
doing?
man. Who that?
Who that?
Yeah.
So, we basically touching up on, the injury reports this week. We was talking about the Seahawks game, looking at the positive, looking at the, the negatives. And we was talking about, what we needed to do against the Bengals earlier as well. But at the moment, once Michael came on, he was ready to roast the shit out of Eli Apple. Like I told everybody last night, I wouldn't be shocked if after the game is over, the lights just randomly turned off and then the lights turned back on. Everybody's beating the shit out of him in the stadium. Even Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase joins them to beat them up because they love Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But, man, what's on your mind, J-Live? Let us know what's on your mind.
What is?
And just worrying about. I'm just hoping the coaches make the right decisions. Like I don't want us to wait to add, to let Howard come in and actually get some touches. He's a running back, man. Let him run the ball.
Just hand it to him, huh? He's going to find the hole.
Right, just let him run the ball. As long as he can get down, a couple plays here and there. Just let the running back do what he do. But he needs to be activated this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want them to run the ball, establish the run game this week because we just look better when we're running the ball. That'll let us control the clock. That'll give our defense the breaks that it needs. It'll just make everything roll smooth this week if we was able to just really establish the run game like we did last week.
Yep.
And, that's a two-edged sword, though, dude, because we look better when we run the ball, but we can run the ball when the offensive line is helping us run the ball. So the offensive line has to play well against this week against Cincinnati as well.
And I understand that, but from the line, bro, I think they've been getting better and better as the season progressed. I think we all can pretty much say that they're getting better and better, man.
Definitely,
But
more holes opening up.
Right.
They allowed one sack this week, so they are looking a whole lot better. You got to realize too, we really haven't had to say any bad thing about Cesar Ruiz yet this year.
I've been looking at him. Remember, we was talking about that in the offseason, Hoodie.
Oh yeah, we were talking about. We was like, we were always saying Doug Marrone. We hope that he can change Cesar Ruiz up and make him the player that we know he can be. We drafted him in the first round for a reason. So far he's looking solid. I'm glad to see him. By the way, we got somebody else is on. What's up, Tro? How you doing?
What's up, G man?
What up? Thank you for coming on and joining the podcast tonight.
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. But by the way, y'all, if y'all don't know Mr. Tro, man, he came over from the State of the Saints podcast, Mr. TJ, and me and him was having a conversation in there about the Jameis situation. And I asked him, I said, if you don't mind, come on the show and come talk to me, tell me why you don't like Jameis, why you don't believe in him, etc. Instead of having to say it in the chat. So I do appreciate you coming on. And, and Mr. Ian, J Live, everybody else in the chat, y'all more than welcome, to join in on the conversation if, you disagree or, but let the guy and let everybody, speak for themselves, let them speak first, and then we can, go off of what they say. But Mr. Tro, man, I wanted to ask you, what was the reasoning behind saying, like, you said you're a Florida State fan, right? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And what made you say, like, you don't never I guess you say you just don't believe in Jim. You didn't say you don't really like the guy. You dislike him. You just don't believe in him.
Yeah, that's all. It was a lot of that was taken out of context. But like I didn't like him or like I was hating on him. And I've been a Florida State fan since I was little. So watching Jameson play at Florida State, shit, nobody was a bigger fan than me. But one of the things that I noticed from him from college to Tampa to New Orleans is that his game never changed. It's like it's the same. It's when he get frustrated, he force throws. And it's like a lot of people gonna say, well, he had so many different coordinators. I mean, look, that's what you call being a professional, to prepare yourself. Like Drew Brees used to do after games or after practices. He used to stay back and he used to what Sean Payton said he used to do. Basically out there by himself, getting game ready, and with Jameson, man, it's like this. If we had Sean Payton still there, I don't have a problem with James. But having Pete Carmichael there, I don't believe in him under that leadership because, first of all, I feel like Pete Carmichael is not doing a great job to put him in a position to succeed. And I just feel like he don't fit New Orleans because of the situation of what we're looking at right now. You look at Atlanta game, you look at the Tampa game, you see that he wasn't able to pick up the blitzes. He wasn't able to, call the plays that he needed to call just to get out of those situations. And if you go back to last year in that Carolina game, we seen some of the same things with Jameis Winston. When he get frustrated, man, he just throw the ball. I don't know. I don't know how to just really say it, but when he gets frustrated, he really gets frustrated. And you did see that in that Tampa game. I know a lot of people will say, oh, he was hurt and all this, but some of this is the same stuff that you've been seeing with Jameis. It's not all injuries. And the only reason why I said that Andy Dalton should be starting right now is because it seems like Andy can see the field a little more than Jameson can. I'm not saying Jameson can't win in New Orleans. I'm just saying under Pete Carmichael, I don't trust him under that. Now you gave me Sean, like I said, you gave me Sean Payton. Then hey, I got no problem with Jameis Winston being the quarterback at all. And I guess when you give your opinion of that, people think you're trolling Jameis Winston. Nah, not. I'm just giving my opinion, what I think from being in the stadium, not being at home. I live in Atlanta now. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I live in Atlanta, but I still travel to every home game to go watch the Saints play.
You're living all the way in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I know they hate you out there, huh?
Oh man, I'm every day arguing with them. I'm arguing every day for my team, every day. But what I'm saying is that man, I don't miss a home game. I fly home every home game just to go watch these boys. So it's just, to me, with Jameson, man, if we had anything besides Pete Carmichael, man, I wouldn't be tripping. When I say that, I'm not saying the dude garbage. I'm not saying he's trash. What I'm saying is that I don't believe in his abilities for as a New Orleans Saints quarterback. And it's facts. It's right there in your face. It's not like I'm just saying this. If it was Andy Dalton playing the way Jameson played, I'd be saying the same thing about Andy Dalton. I don't look at a quarterback. I'm not looking at the skin color. I'm looking at the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at. And I'm not looking at James Winston. Look, Teddy was good. Teddy was good for New Orleans. But that was under Sean Payton leadership. You feel what I'm saying? And last year, we going off of what Jameson did last year, but we got to realize something. He did that under Sean Payton training wheels last year. I'm not taking that away from him, but he did that under the leadership of Sean Payton. Now that Sean's gone, Jameis can be Jameson, and you kind of see the outcome of that. I'm rooting for the guy to win. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see him fail. But what I'm saying is that as watching this game, I just don't see that change coming in Jameson. It's like the same exact quarterback we've seen in Tampa. And to me, it's the reason why the New Orleans Saints went after Deshaun Watson and they went all out. It was a reason why they did that. Didn't nobody come beating down the door to get Winston. It was a reason why they went behind Deshaun Watson. And don't
I hear you 100% too.
We got Miss Gail Benson, and she knows the stipulations and situations that what happened with Deshaun Watson. And she overruled all that just to still go get this guy. So that goes to show you they didn't even believe in Jameis Winston at all. And if it wasn't for the money part of it, I believe Deshaun would have came to New Orleans. I truly believe that. But I'm not rooting for Jameis to fail. I'm just saying from looking at these last few games, I'm like, man, he's not it. And it's nothing wrong for me saying that that's not it. He's not it. Now, if I'm
There's
wrong,
nothing.
I hope he
There's nothing.
prove
There's
me
nothing
wrong.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
you saying that. There's nothing wrong with you having an opinion.
Yeah, there's
You
nothing
know,
wrong with nobody's
that's it.
opinion. The problem I have, Troy, and it's not with you or not, it's just the people. I think the day that you came in here, and if somebody did block you, I don't know who the hell did, so I do apologize if somebody did do that. Like I said, we usually don't block people unless they literally being racist or being just outstanding, being like a troll in here, just trying to be an asshole. But like, you don't understand. If you would come in here a lot more and just look at the chat and see how many people that come in here and just say Jameis sucks, and they like literally waiting for one bad play to happen so they can post it all over Twitter, like they not cheering for the guy. Those are the Jameis people I just can't stand. Like this is your quarterback. You want him to succeed. No matter what. Don't wait for something bad to happen. Just to trash the brother. And to be honest with you, just to tell you my side of what I see in Jameis, last year it was under Sean Payton, but I think he did pretty good, with the weapons he had. It was basically nobody. Which I was shocked that he, did that good under Sean Payton. But also this year, he did a great comeback, fourth quarter, man. The whole team played outstanding in that fourth quarter. But then later found out the man, hurt his back, and the man was playing through four fractures. So you already know you're not going to be on target. You're not going to play well with four fractures in the back. And other stuff that I was talking to my chat the other night about, if you notice, the first 3 games that Jameis was in playing hurt, once we fumbled in the first half, they gave up on the run play. They were like, F it. And you're not supposed to throw the ball 40 times with a dude with a fractured back. Now we actually running the damn ball. And the last few games we still fumbled, but we still ran the ball and controlled, like, having the most rushing yards against each team, which was fabulous. And that's what helps out your quarterback, when you got a run game going. And remember, and I think hey J Live, hold on. You're echoing. But yeah, so I had to mute you real quick, J Live, because you started echoing. But and I know Troy, you probably seen this too.
It's not me. I was on mute.
No, yeah, I just muted you. Yeah, you echo when I take you off of mute, you echo. Yeah. So I can hear the little
He
echo.
might have to turn his volume down. Well, us talking on his end, he might have to turn that down a little bit.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Tro, but like you said, you followed him through college and stuff, and we watched him through Tampa Bay and stuff. His best game comes off for play action. That's like when he's at his best, and we couldn't do no play action that much because the run game was like shit. And once you fumbled, you gave up on it. So I think with a healthy Jameis Winston coming back sooner or later, whenever he's fully healthy, I don't want no 85, 90% Jameis. I want a fully healthy Jameis. I want to see him at full strength. And you have this running game that you've been having these past 2 games, no matter if you F up with the, fumbles or not, and you keep the game going and you're running for 100 and something plus yards every game, this team can be successful with Jameis, just like Andy Dalton's doing, because yeah, Andy Dalton might can see a blitz coming, but I don't know if you noticed, even though he was calling out the blitz, the old line still wasn't picking up in that game. When you see him like, oh, he picking it up and he gets sacked. I was like, how is he calling out these blitzes and you're not picking it up? Like, what is wrong with the old line? So I think there's other stuff that
Doug
Jameis
Monroe.
can work on, and I think he can fix it. Yeah, Doug Marrone's got to fix that shit too. Got to tell these players like, hey, look for this, look for that. But to be honest with you, Jameis can easily fix certain stuff that he needs to fix. But we all know Jameis is definitely more of a talented quarterback. It can succeed if you do the right thing. Like you said, Pete Carmichael needs to keep this play calling up, which is using Taysom Hill more, get the run game going. And once that happens, bro, all these deep passes that we wanted to see from Chris Olave, it's going to start coming together.
Hey, Hood, is my mic still echoing? Oh, no.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's echoing.
It's still echoing?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Hold on.
Yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, like I said, if you watch them few games that he was hurt, especially the Carolina and stuff game, this dude was wrong with his arm, not with his, full body hip rotation like he normally would. So, like I said, you might not believe in him anymore right now, currently. Not everybody else, they got some people who just wait to trash the brother. But in my eyes, that's how I see things. I still feel like he can still do it because you know how we do complain about his decision making, right, Tro?
Right.
But look at Matthew Stafford's decision making. It's horrible. And he still won a Super Bowl because of the talented team. We got a talented team. We can still win with some of these people. And some people say, well, all we need is game management, which is true. I like game management. But I feel like in the era that we're in now, some of these teams are so explosive and so freaking good at just scoring no matter what. It's so hard to win with a game manager these days. Like Jimmy G's a great game manager, and he made it to the Super Bowl, and then he got stopped because you can only do a certain amount of things. And you can, I feel like game managers can only take you so far now compared to all these explosive teams that you're seeing in the NFL now. Like every team is explosive. And you see it this year too. Everybody's 2-3. Everybody's 3-2. Some teams are 4-1, but I mean, I think the NFL said this was the first time they seen teams 2-3 and all of this, and like everybody having the same record. Like most of us are 2-3, which is shocking. So I don't know what your thoughts on that, Mr. Tro. I would like to, to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, that's part of the reason why I don't believe in Jameson, because you just said it all. We don't have first of all, the coaches for that. We don't have the scheme for that. We got Pete Carmichael. Like listen to what I'm saying. We have Pete Carmichael as offensive coordinator, which he didn't even want the job. Dennis Allen had to persuade him to take that job, but people don't know that. Nick Saban just said Doug Monroe was probably one of the worst offensive line coaches he ever had at Alabama. And those two guys are leading two of the main positions on your offense. And then you got a guy like Winston who still need to be growth and groomed. He got potential, but he still have to have that coaching ability. Well, he don't have that out there right now currently. And you see that he don't have that. Just look at the plays that we run. And like you said, the NFL is explosive now. Look at the other teams, how they make it look so easy to go up and down the field, while we struggle to go up and down the field. So if you give me somebody other than them two guys, man, I got nothing to say about James Forrest. If the guy got talent. I'm not saying he don't have no talent. But what I'm saying is what we have going on in New Orleans, that's not the guy for you. He's not.
Phil,
You know what I'm saying? He's not.
I wanna take your attention to something. And I know we're gonna have a big conversation when Jameis is prepared to come back about who we think should or should not start. But Hoodie mentioned Bridgewater and his 5-0 start as a
starter.
But when it was time for Breeze to come back, Breeze came back, and whether or not Breeze was the right decision to make, but Breeze was the starter originally, so he was
in that Arizona game, correct?
Right. Okay. So having said that, let's look at the games that Jameis Winston has started this season and situationally what happened. Okay, we're playing Atlanta. We're not running the ball effectively. We're getting heavily penalized in that first half. So you're down by 15 points in the first quarter.
No pass block.
Right. The offensive line was terrible. The defense was okay, but they weren't doing all that well. And then we finally looked like we were about to score in the third quarter, and then Mark Ingram fumbles the ball. So we had turnovers, we had penalties, we had lapses in judgment by the offensive line, we had lapses in judgment by the offensive play calling, and the defense can only do so much. You're down by 15, and from whatever happened, whether it was the Falcons actually deciding to play softer coverage, I don't really know if that's entirely true. But you come back, you win the game by a field goal, or literally by a point. And the Falcons missed their game-winning field goal. Okay, so you win the game. You're 1-0. Game 2, you're playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're up 3-0 for the majority of the game. Until midway in the third quarter, you were up 3-0. So you're driving, right, and you make it past the 50-yard line, which neither team was really doing for the majority of that game. And Mark Ingram in the red zone fumbles the ball. You had an opportunity to go up 10-0, but we fumbled. So now you give the ball back to Brady, and he goes down, kicks a field goal. The game's tied at 3. Now we get the ball, we go 3 and out, we punt it back to them. What happens now? Well, they get the ball, we stop them on 3rd and 6, and then Leonard Fournette does what he does. Then Marshawn Lattimore does what he does. Mike Evans does what he does, and the entire game changed from that point from that point on. That play resulted in a first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They ended up scoring on the next drive, making it 10-3. They got a field goal, making it 13-3, and then another touchdown, making it 20-3. And Jameis threw some interceptions when it was 13-3. One of which was a pick six, was made it 20-3. we ended up scoring late, a 20-10 loss. So interception by Jameis late in a game that he probably shouldn't have had to throw the ball as much, but because we got down late in a game where neither offense was really doing much, those turnovers happened. Game 3, you're playing Carolina. Your offense is not producing again. On the very first drive, really on like one of the first plays of the game, Alvin Kamara fumbles the ball, and you give up a scoop and score. You're down 7-0. So the rest of the game, you're playing from behind. Granted, we did end up coming back and making that a one-score game, but a few first downs by the Carolina offense, and we never got the ball back. We lost by a single possession. Game against Minnesota, you're starting Andy Dalton, and you fumble the ball late in the second quarter. So, I mean, what I'm trying to get at is a lot of the things that you're I don't want to say blaming Jameis on, but attributing to Jameis Winston is a team effort.
I actually didn't. I said coaching. And you just made everything that you just said, I 100% agree with that. That's coaching. That's
yeah, and I agree. So that's kind of where that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I
just
never
like
blame nothing on Jameson. I'm saying for what the skill set that he got going on is not great under the coaching leadership that we have. I never blamed none of that. If you listen to what I say, or go back and listen to the tape. I never blamed any of this on Jameson. None of the losses.
Not that you're blaming on him.
Was my biggest point of my gripe. The leadership, the coaching, everything you just named, them fumbles. You think that would have happened with Sean Payton? That wouldn't happen with Sean Payton.
Of course not.
And that's my problem. That's the situation why I said I can't see Jameson under this current leadership. That's why I kept saying under this current leadership. I don't see him succeeding because guess what? He don't have a real offensive coordinator. You don't have a real offensive line coach. You don't have a real head coach. And what Jameson trying to do is just not going to work with this team. And that's all I ever said. And that's what I'm standing by. I'm not saying it's his fault that we lost to Tampa or his fault we lost to Minnesota.
I'm not saying that you're blaming him. What I'm saying is saying that he like that he is, somehow going to be the reason for us not to be able to win some of these games that we would have won where the coaching was better. I disagree with that personally because I don't really see that the quarterback position or whoever's quarterbacking would be able to change that much. I don't think Drew Brees would have been able to win a damn game where you're fumbling the ball on the first drive and you give up a touchdown to the defense. It's tough to win games that way.
You actually saying what I'm saying? I don't know why you're trying to disagree, but you saying what I'm saying. You basically saying
y'all basically saying the same stuff.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're trying to
So wait, I'm confused. I'm confused.
But he basically saying what I'm saying.
So I'm confused.
I guess it could come from me because Jameson is the
what I'm trying to understand is where does Jameis not being our quarterback, like I think that's our discourse. Where does that part come in? That's the part that I'm confused about.
What I'm saying is that
Andy
the leadership we did have, we got Pete Carmichael. We got a head coach that's not offensive coordinator, never been one. This man will not succeed under that. He's not going to succeed under that. That's no different than what he had in Tampa Bay. What was the main reason why Jameson could not succeed in Tampa? That's the same. He's back to that same situation in New Orleans. So you telling me he's going to succeed with a Pete Carmichael? Let's just be realistic. I know we love Jameson. Come on, man. I love him. I love him more than all y'all do. But let's just be realistic. Is this dude going to actually – what's different from Tampa Bay situation and the New Orleans Saints situation? Is it because it's our team? But tell me what's different. Nothing different. It's the same exact situation that he was in Tampa with. He's in New Orleans with it. Might be even worse in New Orleans because he got Pete Carmichael. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming – I not one time blamed Jameson for any of the losses. I said under the current leadership that we have, this guy is not going to succeed. And that's what I'm sticking with, and that was my opinion. That's all I said. That's all I'm trying to say. That's the only point that I'm getting out on. Even when I was on Big Q, all of them understood what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not saying James is the fault of none of this. I'm currently saying he will not succeed under what we got going on constructed there. That's not gonna happen for him. Like you said, you could bring Drew Brees there. Drew Brees is more of an offensive coordinator than both our current quarterbacks. I'm just being real. He was.
I understand what you're saying. My thing is solution time. You know how J-Boo is. Do you believe that he is going to allow himself, once he becomes healthy, do you believe that he is going to allow himself to sit out or to sit behind an Andy Dalton for the rest of this season? I don't think it's gonna happen.
If that was to happen, then they probably will fire the head coach immediately. Let's just be real. If he was healthy.
So that being said, I think we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying, listen, I never said I ain't want J-Bo to not be the starting quarterback if he's healthy. I'm just saying currently under the construction thing we have going on in New Orleans, that dude do not fit what we got going on in New Orleans because he's a gunslinger. He's a wild slanger. You see how Sean Payton had to have training wheels on him. Imagine him under something. You see how him and Carmichael exploded on the sideline. You would have never seen that with Sean Payton. Or if you would have brought in another real head coach, you wouldn't have saw that with them. Even he is frustrated with Pete Carmichael. That's all I'm saying. He's not gonna succeed under this current everything we got right now in New Orleans. J-Bo is not about. Come on, let's just be real, man. J-Bo is not. That's no different than the situation that he been in Tampa with. It's no different. If we sit up here and actually believe as Saints fans that J-Bo is about to take us to the Super Bowl, man, unless we have a Steeler defense, let's just be real, man. Stop kidding ourselves. Let's just quit. Just
Well, let me ask you something, Mr. Tro. I kind of do want to ask you this question. So, if the Saints continue to actually run the ball, and like I said, the first 3 games you didn't see that shit. The last 2 games we actually kept a good running game. We kept to it. So if Pete Carmichael starts changing it up, and Dennis Allen said, "Let's be a run team first, and then pass when we need to." You don't think Jameis can be successful in this, especially if he's really good at play acting?
Hell yeah, I can believe that.
Okay.
Because
Hey, but Jameis has to be under control though.
But
Yeah,
and not only that,
we're taking for granted that will happen.
Yeah, bro, because Jameis showed me these last 2 games that he played, bro, that he ain't to be trusted. Like he was going deep. He was going deep too much. He brung up those old memories, and I was all in on Jameis. But those last 2 games where he was forcing that ball, oh no, we don't do it like that. We don't do it like that.
I'm saying right now, that's all I'm saying. He's not to be trusted. I ain't saying I hate this dude or I'm trolling this dude. He just can't be trusted. And that's why you needed Sean Payton right there for him.
Right.
That's all I'm saying, man. All this other stuff people holler about I'm trolling or out. Come on, man. No. Just comprehend what I'm really saying. Just like TJ said earlier, man. Just like BQ said last week when I went on the show. Man, ain't nobody disputed what I was saying because they understood what I was saying. That's it. Now, you got people that might turn what you're saying into troll because everybody not going to agree with what you say. That's fine. I'm not trying to change. I'm just telling you from what I saw, looking at Jameis Winston from Florida State to Tampa Bay, because I was slick rooting for the dude in Tampa. I just like the J-Bo. The dude had the same can't trust mentality he got there. You see some of the same flags here in New Orleans. And without the main course coach we have, unless you, like you just said, unless they take that ball out of his hand and start running it more, it's no different in Tampa.
Hey, y'all remember when y'all saw Jameis on the sideline, bro, and he was going off. He was mad about something the coach was trying to tell him, like, bro, that would have never happened under Sean. You see, that's the difference right there. That would have never. He would have humbled himself quick and shut up and listen. You know what I mean? Like.
Here's my thing, y'all. Here's my thing. So
that let me know everything, but I'm listening.
So we really good at like identifying what the problem is from how he would how he played his games in the first 4 games of the season. So we've identified what his problems are. What do we think going forward? Because we know that he's going to come back and start for us is going to be the solution of maybe possibly him being successful this year. We already mentioned running the ball. So what else has to happen for him to be successful and for us not to look like we're struggling with a quarterback and with other weapons that are so good?
You just
James,
saw it Sunday.
hello,
You just saw it Sunday what we need to succeed with. You just saw
hello,
it Sunday.
hello.
Taysom Hill need to play
Yeah,
for.
what's up, right? I can hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Who
you.
that? Who that, fellas? Who that?
Who that?
Everybody.
Hey, look, you talk about Taysom Hill, but the main difference in our offense is Andy Dalton, bro, and we need to start downplaying that. All we need is a guys in there. We need a guy in there that's not gonna make bad decisions, make a quick decision, throw it to the check downs, hit the intermediate routes, and go deep maybe like 4 times a game. That's
All
it.
right,
That's all we
complained
need.
about that when Breeze was doing.
Bullshit.
We complained about that when Breeze was doing.
No, we wasn't.
Man, y'all
No. We
tweaking.
complained because Breeze couldn't go downfield. That was the problem, and defenses was able to suck up. But if you got a quarterback that you have to respect because he can still throw that 50-yard pass, then yeah, it's a difference. It's a difference now. Like Andy looked better with our offense the way we want to run. That's period.
So hey,
That's period.
Question. You're right, but you also gotta factor in Jameis was hurt, and you can obviously tell.
Bro, all right. I'm going back to the 5 games from last year. The offense still was sputtering.
So you saying Andy looks better than him the 5 games last year?
Look. Other than the Green Bay game, yes. Other than the Green Bay game, yes. That offense wasn't moving. That offense wasn't moving, bro. We was winning games 19-17 and shit like that. That offense wasn't moving, bro.
Okay, let's say this.
What's his stats? What's Andy's stats? Please tell me his stats,
bro. Look, no. What you need to look at? Look at Andy's production per quarter, son. Look at the first quarter. Look at the second quarter. Look at the third quarter. Look at the fourth quarter. We're actually putting up points.
All right,
we weren't doing that. We wasn't doing that under Jameis, man.
Running the ball. We was putting up points by running the ball.
What kind of point did he put up? He ain't put up no point.
He did.
Bro, we're moving the ball. We're getting in field goal positions. We're not
Anybody
sitting at
can do
0. No,
but we're running the ball.
We can have Joe Flacco do that,
bro. I like the way my offense look under Andy. If he can continue that, I like that.
Hey,
you mean under Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara? Because that's who ran the offense on Sunday.
Right, that's what
bro.
I'm saying. Yeah, like Andy was the GOAT of that. Like, no,
I hear you, bro. For the second week in a row, Andy has ran my offense where I've been saying, well, I step back and say, you know what? That offense is okay.
No,
we can win with that. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop, bro.
You acting like Andy was a step up. No, it was the offensive coordinator.
Listen, fellas.
We are changing the premise of the argument.
We've been having the same coaches. We've been having the same line. We've been having the same situation. Andy looks better in it.
Hold on, fellas. We changing the premise of the conversation. The conversation has something to do. All right, hold on. The conversation was, why did he feel uncomfortable about what he had out there in the product that we putting out on the field? Based on what he's saying this. And if you guys listen to what he's saying 2 things. He's saying 2 things that nobody's responding to, and everybody want to voice their opinion about how they feel personally about the person. No, he's saying 2 things. He said, number 1, Jameis doesn't have the intelligence and the respect that he would sit there and humble himself to do what needs to be done to move this thing forward. Number 2, Pete Carmichael doesn't have the respect to get him to respect, because don't forget, the first thing Dennis said was, we're going to design the offense around what Jameis does best. Well, that's not working. And
because we don't have a good offensive coordinator.
No, stop. God, please don't respond to something about personal stuff, bro, because I listen to you all the time, and I hear what you say about personal stuff, but I don't hear you talking concepts. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. It has nothing to do with the kid sitting there and the kid playing the game the way the game is designed. He plays the game on his emotions, and what happens is, once his emotions take over, he is totally out of the game plan. So when you look at it and you talk about, well, you know what? I want somebody to throw the ball many times. I want somebody to throw the ball 200. Well, God, to be honest with you, bro, you need to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan and not a Saints fan. Because for the last 15 years, Sean Payton ran the ball first. I don't know if you know that. But
I
we
did
always
know
had
that.
3 running backs. What you think?
We also had a man that would catch like 8 balls a game and have 120 yards.
But that doesn't matter. In order for the
It
offense
does
to
matter
work,
because we were winning.
listen to me. In order for the West Coast offense to work, you got to have a ground and pound somewhere in order for them boys to respect what's going on. See, the problem with Drew Brees is Drew Brees, you're right, didn't have the capabilities of going down there. Now we got Jameis that has the capabilities of going down there.
And the
But
play
what
calling has
Jameis
changed.
But what Jameis
That
is
was
doing
what
is
he was bought
Jameis
in
doesn't have
for.
the intelligence of, and no disrespect to Jameis.
Nah.
That man said Jameis don't have the intelligence.
Think about it like this. We all saw the game against, and please understand this, we all saw the game against Tampa. The only thing Tampa did was put people in the spot that Jameis loved throwing to. Why? They've been knowing him for years. That's all they did. They just put people in the spots he liked throwing to.
You sound like you putting that loss on Jameis, and that's definitely
Facts.
not.
That's
Not
no.
Hey, didn't Devin White say that Jameis was going to throw the ball to them?
Nope, I am not doing
Did
that.
Devin White say
I'm
that?
telling you what the defensive coordinator did. I'm not
Devin
putting
White
the loss
said
on
that?
Jameis. I'm telling you what the defensive
That nigga
coordinator
high
did.
key said it was Jameis' fault.
It's pretty easy
No,
to
I
defend a
didn't
guy
say
with
that.
4
The defensive coordinator, number one, he sent the blitz, and number two, he put his secondary right where Jameis liked to throw the ball. And guess what that did? That took Jameis totally out of his comfort zone. And when you take Jameis out of his comfort zone, you don't get the calm, relax, okay, let me go to Pete. Hey, Pete, what are you saying that I'm not seeing, and what do I need to do? You don't get that kind of Jameis.
We also saw the game.
because he had a
We
broken
also
back.
saw the game against
Hey,
Tampa.
Right, thank you,
In
man.
that
Nigga was
same
hurt.
game against Tampa, where we were driving the ball, where Winston was playing well, where we were running the ball effectively, and Mark Ingram fumbled the ball in the red zone and gave the ball back to Tampa.
Right.
So you
We
can't
don't want to talk
say
about
that
that.
these things.
You know what?
You can't say
Right,
that these
thank you.
things.
hey, but he still didn't do nothing after that.
So basically, that does two things. That takes God's argument completely out the thing, because guess what? You got to run the ball. That's what you just said. We got to run the ball. And if we don't fumble, we have success.
Obviously, we
Okay,
got
so
to
what
run
I'm
the ball.
saying is these turnovers that we've been getting, these penalties that we've been getting, when Winston was in there, all of that plays a factor in how well or how not so well a quarterback plays. If you're starting from 1st and 15 and 1st and 20, it is far more difficult to get these first downs.
So basically, what you're saying is we have to run the ball.
Most definitely. I've been saying that all day.
All right.
But how you gonna run the ball if you don't have a line to run the ball with?
In my analysis of the Seattle game, no, listen. In my analysis of the Seattle game, me and Hoodie just finished talking
We
about
just
how
ran
we
for
ran the ball.
230 some yards. We got a decent enough line.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is we were not running the ball effectively in those games that we lost. We did it this past Sunday.
Hey, there's something I would like to say though, fellas.
That was just big plays.
Hey, there's something I would like to say, fellas. There's something I would like to add on to this though. Like
Seattle
you said,
was the worst defense in NFL. Y'all forgot about that.
Stop it. Even
Hey, now look, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Man, y'all don't even know y'all football. Y'all just talking with emotions, bro. Y'all ain't none of y'all knew
Hey,
y'all had the worst defense coming into that game.
talk.
Yes, we talked about it.
I'm through, man.
Let
Go
Hoodie,
ahead,
Hoodie,
Hoodie.
what
Do
you
your
got to
thing,
say,
Hoodie.
Hoodie?
yeah. So the thing I wanted to add on to the stuff about, we wasn't running the ball, we wasn't doing this effectively, we was hitting our penalties, we was turning the ball over. Yeah, when you turn the ball over and your quarterback and your offense is in the momentum and then you fumble, your offense is in the momentum, you call a penalty that F's you up, you get into the field goal position, they can't kick a goddamn field goal because they missing and it's getting blocked. It's hard to keep momentum as a quarterback because there's nothing I can do. I can't do nothing better. There's nothing else I can do besides But like I said, he had a faster bat too, trying to play through all that. And like I said, you run the ball, and me and the right talked about it the other night. We ran the ball. Once we fumbled, we gave up on it. But the last 2 games, you've seen it. We fumbled, but we actually kept the run game going, and that's what's better right now because all our people are hurt too. Our receivers are hurt. So who you gonna throw it to right now?
Right, Uncle Mo.
Man.
Let me tell you something.
Well,
Uncle
right
Mo
now,
is a huge part of the game, man.
Look, when you got somebody like Andy Dalton, and you got and fellas, we all gotta agree, our eyes are not lying to us, bro. This offense is designed for somebody like You know,
And Andy Dalton.
right? I mean, come on, let's be honest. And no taking
Trust
away
your
from.
eyes.
But listen to me. I'm not taking it
That's not a
away
good
from.
thing.
I'm not taking it away from James because Andy Dalton made some mistakes I saw in the game where he underthrew Chris Olave, where he underthrew because of the fact that
Yes.
he don't have the
Yep.
velocity that Jameis
Yep.
have. But I
Yep.
do understand where my guy is coming from when he's saying, look, if we can get Jameis to respect Pete like he respects Sean, then we batting 100. We just
What
need him
makes y'all
to
think he don't?
Bro, because he going off on the sideline. Dog, look at all them play. He went 13 passes deep into Olave the first go that one game. Then
Which were
followed it up.
open.
Listen,
Which were all
all right,
open.
cool. They didn't get hit. Now after
Okay,
that,
that's not a
he
fault
fought.
of.
That has
Okay,
to do with injury.
All right. But
We have to put that
listen,
on injury. We have to
he
put that on
he
injury.
followed it up and went deep like that again the next week.
Because he was open.
But you gotta him not
right,
hitting
he's
Nah,
open.
those
What are
bro,
we
bro,
doing?
that's
him not
bro.
hitting
We saw
those
Mike
accurate
Thomas running
throws.
across the middle open.
That dude was
We,
wide
But
open.
this
Mike
the
Thomas
thing
was
with
wide
that's what
open
we
up the
saw
middle.
open.
You want a
Went deep,
touchdown or
that
a
dude
first
was
down?
wide open in the middle.
Bruh, it's bad decision making.
so we have to
That's
put
what I
that on
saw.
injury, fellas. You
Bad
can't say that. You
decision
can't say
making.
something
How?
that
How?
Jameis
No,
said.
you can't
Hold
put
on.
you
You
can't put
cannot
bad
say
decision making on
How's
injuries.
it? How's
no,
it
no.
bad
Listen to me.
decision making when it's open?
Because you shouldn't have went deep when you should have got the first down hitting Mike Thomas open over the middle.
First down.
So he shouldn't
And
take what's open. Okay,
First
all
down.
right,
why
thank you.
are you targeting Chris Olave and Mike Thomas your dog?
Because he
Come on, man.
open. I'm throwing to the open dude.
If
This is what
Chris
It got
catches
intercepted.
stride, it's a touchdown.
Back
It got
hurt.
intercepted,
Back
bro.
problems. Back problems. Back. Come on.
Hey, that's sports.
He
You
shouldn't
talking
be playing if he injured there, man.
I hear you,
That's all
God.
it
Boy,
do.
you stupid, yeah. I love God, bro. God creation, bro. This dude, bro,
fellas.
God. I love this kid.
Listen,
Back
what
problems.
I mean when I say hitting due to injury, we all know Jameis throws the best deep ball in all of football. He hits it every time. We saw it last year. These are facts. When Jameis throws a deep ball, he hits it. He hits. That's not overthrown. It's on the money every time. So that's why we have to say, yeah. Do I believe he went too many times deep? Yes, he did go too many times deep. But if he's not injured, Jameis hits at least four of those deep balls.
Man, he hits all of them. He hits all of them back to back with
Hey,
no
bro.
fucking effort.
Look, Jameis is good, bro. Jameis is good. So let me not make that mistake and make it sound like that. I don't think
Jameis don't know how to play small ball, bro. He need to learn how to play small ball. That's winning football.
Bro, that
He
is,
played
bro, that
small
is
That's
ball
under
last
Sean
year.
Payton. Under Sean Payton. This year he doing what the hell he want to do.
Hey,
Jameis
He doing
it
what the hell
doesn't
he
matter
want
if
to
it
do,
was
bro.
under
played
I
Sean
can
Payton.
tell.
It don't matter if it was under Batman. It doesn't matter if it was under Bruce Wayne. It don't matter. He did it.
Jameis Winston was losing in every game that he played this season. And you gonna sit there and tell me that this man don't know how to play small ball? Small ball for what exactly?
I tell you
Listen,
what,
we're passionate
my
about
wife
this,
has
bro,
come out
because
the
we
room
want our
He
every
don't know
children to
how to play
succeed,
small
bro.
ball. That's the problem.
Okay,
The reason why
small
we so
ball for what
He
passionate
is the
about this,
question?
he know how to he know how to play long ball. He can throw the long ball, but he don't know when to settle it down and just move the damn chains, bro. That's the issue I got with Jameis.
J-Lot, we were losing in a lot of those games where he was going deep.
Bro, I got you. Don't panic. Yes, move these chains and we'll take a shot. But we don't need to be going deep every
He's
two
taking good
plays.
shots. It's
Nah.
You would have
Yeah,
a good
The
argument
only bad
if
shot
it
is
wasn't open. All those shots
if it's in
people are
triple coverage,
bitching,
if
complaining,
it's
moaning, and groaning about were open.
coverage, if
His
it's in triple
back
coverage,
is just
yeah,
fucking
bro.
hurt.
I understand you, bro.
Hey man,
And hey, Kamar wasn't eating with Jameis, was he?
He was
Man, Kamar
he was
was
injured. He wasn't playing.
That was a problem last year.
Wait, who was
That was a problem last year.
Alvin Kamara was injured in game 3 and 4 this season, so he didn't play.
I was about to say Kamara didn't play.
Also,
Right, Kamara the only
I'm talking about when he did play with Jameis. He still wasn't getting the ball from
that's
Jameis.
one game when he was
That's
healthy.
one game,
Bro, but it follows the same stuff from last year. Kamara
No,
wasn't
it
eating.
don't.
Everybody was like, "Hey, he needs
Because
to get
he
the ball
was
to
the only
Kamara more."
playmaker.
That's all I'm saying. They
He
was
was
like,
the
"He needs to
only
get the ball to Kamara."
He was the only playmaker. No, duh, he didn't eat last year. It was
wasn't
Kamara or nothing.
Listen,
Bro, Jameis don't like throwing to the check down.
Listen, if we're gonna sit there and say that Pete Carmichael's offense is at all similar to Sean Payton's offense, and the same Jameis Winston, who is currently injured, who is not playing for the last 2 weeks, is playing under Pete Carmichael's offense that he went 4-2 in Sean Payton's offense for last year, it would then stand to reason that a healthy Jameis Winston under Pete Carmichael would then also be able to be at some level successful. Now, the issue is the play calling has been heavily passed and not so much run. We saw what the Saints did against a defense that wasn't very good. Granted, the Seahawks weren't very good. So you on against a defense whose run defense is not very good, you put up 200+ rushing yards. Okay, that is a start. You need to run the ball more, especially when your quarterback returns and he's still dealing with that ankle, the ACL from last year. He's still dealing with the back. So whenever he returns, you do not want to put those 30 or 40 passing plays on Jameis Winston. You need to run the ball more often. How do you run the ball more often, though? You have to be effective up front with your offensive line. When Jameis was playing for those first 4 weeks, the offensive line was not being effective. Sunday, they were very effective.
And they were very pass happy. And
yes, we also
played a role in that.
Needed to use Taysom more in the Wildcat.
Big time. You didn't see as many Taysom Hill plays.
Not just Taysom. Put Elvin in the Wildcat every now and then. This offense needs to adapt. And
we need to use our playmakers.
With the depleted wide receiver core, you have to adapt. Pete Carmichael has to be able to understand and take what it was we did this Sunday and have it moving forward with the rest of these games going forward until our wide receiver core gets back to strength, full strength. Because
correct. Can you agree that Carmichael probably called the best game of the season on Sunday?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. When Taysom Hill was running that ball, all throughout the first half, and he didn't have a single pass in the whole first half, everybody kept saying, well, he's just not going to run it off. And then that one time that he decided to throw the ball, it was a touchdown pass.
It was a
That's
dot.
the type of shit you got to do.
It was a laser.
And look, and for us to think as Saints fans that this is going to be the same thing with Taysom here every week, we have to be realistic and say, okay, this might not happen every week with Taysom getting.
We don't even need it to be though. It's a threat. It's about having as much stretch as possible to keep your game open.
Right, moving the chains. That's what we need to do. Third down last week, we did a really good job with moving the chains on third down. Keep that success going. Right, and now I will say this: did it come at the right time against the right defense? Yes, it did. Because Seattle sucks.
You also have to talk about the fact that we didn't have as many penalties. We didn't have as many penalties.
Right.
We didn't have as many turnovers.
Right.
We did fumble 3 times. We only turned the ball over twice.
These Jameis haters want to be like Jameis. Oh God! Oh my God! Jameis! Oh my God! He's
Hey,
calm that shit down, bro.
What a rare rifle at.
Hey,
he about to be on that damn bench this game.
That man threw one of the most lackadaisical passes to Traquan Smith that the Seahawks took from him.
He did.
He did.
Hey, fellas, you know what I do respect though about the Jameis haters that are on here? At least they on here talking. And they telling us, and they're not in the chat like pussies, like I say. And I like Troll. Mr. Troll just left. Shout out to you, Mr. Troll. Thank you for coming on and chatting it up with us like a man. Unlike some people who just want to call him a pussy and he sucks and blah 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 blah. And you say it in the chat. Come say it like a man on here, like grown men.
That's just trolls, bro.
Hey, bro. I just think Andy roll our offense better, bro. That's all I'm saying.
J Live,
how
much better?
Bro,
how much better?
How much better? How much better? A lot.
Listen,
a lot better, yeah. We won. Guys. We won the Seahawks game because of Andy.
We should have won that Vikings game, but the defense, but the defense came up short. But he played well in that Vikings game also. So
shoulda, woulda.
And you know what's crazy? J Live, you know what's crazy? You said Andy Dalton and them should have won the Vikings game. Jameis and them should have started off 3-0 if it wasn't for dumb turnovers, missing field goals, and all this kind of shit. Even though he was hurt still, he still would have won a game for you being hurt.
Hey, what game did Jameis get hurt in, bro?
The Atlanta game, the very first game.
Hold up. Ain't y'all pissed off at the simple fact that we lost to Carolina and they fouled Matt Rule? Don't that piss y'all off?
Who that?
And they only won one game. They only won one game. It was
no, they won twice. I think.
Angry about that, bro.
They're 1-4. They're 1-4.
Okay.
They're 1-4.
Damn, and it's beating our ass.
They talk about Sean Payton going to Carolina, or at least talks, rumors.
They
were traded. They were traded right.
Yes, it needs to happen because they're gonna have #1 draft pick, baby. Give us that shit, please. Hell yeah, he can take his ass right over there.
Trust me, Mickey Loomis will not let that happen.
Mickey Loomis will secure the bag, man.
J-Live,
hey,
I wanted to ask you.
Come on, bro.
Ask you, bro. About Andy Dalton. Listen, this is my question to you, J-Live, about Andy Dalton. Okay, so he went 1 for 1. He had 1 touchdown pass to Olave. He had 1 interception, which was a bad pass to Tre'Quan Smith. He threw for less than 200 yards, and you're going to say that he just played better than Jameis Winston. My thing is...
Hey, you always talking about? What game you talking about? The Vikings?
No. The game against Seattle.
He didn't throw from 100 something. What you said? He threw for like 200 some yards.
No, he did not. He threw for less than 200 yards. He was 1 for 1. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
The offense still look better. Like, bro, with Jameis, we go quarters. Bro, we go quarters without putting anything up.
What I'm trying to explain to you is they played better because they ran the ball more.
Thank you. It has nothing to do with.
Unless you count.
Has nothing to do with Andy.
I understand that. I'm telling y'all right here, right now. It ain't happening, bro.
Listen.
Hey, look, J-Live.
It ain't happening, bro.
Hey, J-Live, I hope you get ready to cry. I hope you get ready to cry when you realize he gonna get his spot back, and we gonna. Hey, look, tell me how long has Andy old ass been in this league and still ain't won a playoff game? That shitty booty ass QB.
Andy seemed like he fit my offense just fine right now. I tell you that.
You do all that all you want, Undertaker. You come on down. Die. Shut up, bitch. Oh my God.
That was for you, J-Live.
You know I don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell it like it is. All offense look better under Andy Dalton, period, and y'all know it.
How? Please explain to me.
Are you sure this is not the game plan?
He does it.
Hey, the offense wasn't hard to watch. I got to sit down, and I wasn't going through what I normally go through. It felt like good offense, and I can roll with Andy. I ain't felt like that since Drew left.
So let me ask you this: Were you cheering more for Andy Dalton, or were you cheering more for Taysom Hill?
Green Bay game.
I was cheering more for Taysom, I guess. He had a game of his life.
We know.
That's what I'm trying to explain. Taysom Hill was going to get you out your seat more than Andy Dalton did. Now he did have a very nice pass that was actually short and probably got a lot of hurt. But I mean, that's
one thing Taysom is good at, throwing those seam routes. He is good with those. I would say that.
Oh man, that was a great pass to Troutman. That pass to Troutman was awesome.
Hey fellas, by the way, we do have a new person on the show right now. And we got Mr. T. I want to hear from him real quick. What's up, man?
How you doing, Hoodie Drew?
Doing good.
What's good, fam? What's good?
So I'm a diehard Saints fan. Been a Saints fan since 2000, since Aaron Brooks, Deuce McAllister, and Jim Haslett. But what I got to say about James Winston and the Dalton thing, I want both of them to succeed because I'm just a Saints fan. But
facts.
But with James Winston, he had no chance. His back hurt, ankle, and I think he still was playing a little timid because of his ACL. And and when
what about the slow mental decision making? What about that?
Yeah, he got
slow mental decision making.
What about that? Let's talk about that.
Isn't he? Did he have a 3.8 or 4 GPA in college?
So James Winston, he play a little buddy ball. I
Those
think
quick
he
reads.
already know who he's gonna throw it to pre-snap. You know what I'm saying? Like he told on Callaway, get ready for this touchdown. And that's why he threw it in between double coverage. He knew he gonna throw it to pre-snap. See, and the Dalton ain't playing buddy ball, friendly ball. He gonna throw it to the wide open man right in the butt. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only little thing I disagree with Jameis Winston. But I hope both of them succeed me. You know what I'm saying?
Who you want to?
Well,
Hey, what happened if Andy win 5 games? Like you say, he win 4 games straight.
He's still going to get Jameis come back.
Are y'all truly telling me y'all want to see Jameis?
Yes.
After them,
Yes.
Because when it comes to
he gotta
playoff
get that
time,
chance. If he
don't do it.
Thank you. When it comes to
Don't do
playoff
it.
time,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
When it comes
If
to
we
playoff time,
if we rolling like that, don't do it.
You can't
Think
win
about
with a game manager.
I know Drew
right?
Brees
Thank you.
already
Thank
had.
you.
J Live.
As we've
J Live.
seen.
J Live. Let me ask you the same question. All right, Andy Dalton. He won 5 games straight for you. Are you pulling him out to put your starting quarterback Deshaun Watson in now because he's back from suspension, or are you gonna keep rolling with the winning team that's winning right now?
$250 million.
Look, right. I'm gonna rock. I'm going to rock with Andy.
You're about to tell a lie.
I'm going to rock with Andy.
You're about to tell a lie.
Hey, but time out. Why are we talking about Watson? Why don't you say put my starting quarterback Jameis Winston back? Just keep apples with apples, oranges with oranges.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, listen.
That's not our situation.
Listen, when Teddy Bridgewater won in 5 games, he went 5-0. Breeze was your backup.
Automatically get a second chance when he helped.
Exactly. When Bridgewater went 5-0, it was time for Breeze to come back. You put Breeze back in there. So
that's Drew Brees.
Right here,
that's Drew Brees.
It's not a difference.
He would name starting the beginning.
What you mean it's not a difference?
He's your starter.
Not a difference. You would name starting the beginning of the season.
Bro,
he's QB1.
And he not getting paid. If you want to know what the Saints think about Jameis, look how much he getting paid. Enough said. We ain't got no QB1. QB1. If Andy is outperforming him because he's not getting paid like a franchise quarterback, guess what? I'm saying if. I said if Andy is outperforming him when he comes back, when it's time for him to come back, and because he's not getting paid like a franchise quarterback, man, you ought to be out your mind.
If it was a fifth, we all be drunk. If it was a fifth, we all be drunk, bro.
We'll see. I see these last 2 games. I saw the best offense I saw since this season started.
Hey, question, J Live, who was it? Who was it? Because
it was Latavius Murray and Taysom Hill.
Okay, is that did you say Andy? I didn't hear Andy in there.
No, Andy in there. He was at the helm.
Yeah, he wasn't there doing not a damn thing.
Making quick decisions, throwing that ball to Alvin Kamara quick.
Listen, ain't nobody saying that Andy Dalton did not help the Saints win against.
What you mean help? What you mean help? He did the best job you don't. He did the best job you don't saw all year. What are you talking about? Help?
He didn't go out and win that game. It was not the reason. No,
Andy put the fucking game on his back.
He threw a pick.
Hell no.
That was the troll.
To the no. Hell to the no.
Listen, understand something. We had 3 big-time players in that game. Number 7, Taysom Hill. Number 41, Alvin Kamara. And number 94, Cameron Jordan. They were the reason why we won that game.
Yes, Andy.
There was a 10. Man, what y'all talking about, bro? Y'all better stop. Put some respect on that man's name. Y'all gonna cut the shit.
He's gonna give
but wait a minute.
He's very serviceable.
But wait a minute. Y'all can sit there and say,
why we act? Dog, serviceable is all we need.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Nobody's arguing that. I don't think nobody's arguing that right now.
That's all we need.
No, it's not.
Why would you say it was only those 3 people when the offensive line demonstrated something that they haven't demonstrated all year?
No, they're right. Don't get me wrong. The offensive line was great. The offensive line played really well. All 5 of them get game balls. You know, they didn't have nearly as many false start and holding penalties as they had. So big ups to the offensive line. The reason that I gave those 3 players, Kamara, Hill and Jordan was because of the impact play that Jordan had in the second quarter and the third quarter with those 2 huge sacks he had on Geno, the 194 all-purpose yards for Kamara, and the 4 touchdowns that Taysom Hill had. So that's why I kind of spotlighted those 3.
Hey, I tell you what, I hope Davenport play with a fire underneath his behind because Trey coming back.
Man, he ain't playing with shit under him.
Well, Davenport probably should have had that last sack on Geno, but Cam ended up getting to him first. But both of them are converging.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, Cam looking good early this year. That's a good sign.
That's a real good sign, right?
That's a good sign. I'm happy to see that. But I wish I would see more out of Peyton Turner. He hurt or what?
Yes,
hell no, he not hurt. He emotionally hurt.
Damn.
He's hurt. He's on injury. He's on the injury report. He's hurt.
Oh yeah, he got hurt in practice.
Okay, yeah.
About the defense too, I wanted to give a big up to Tyrann Mathieu.
I think we get Mike back this week, man.
What about Marcus May? We need him back.
I think we get Mike back.
We need Marcus May back more than anything,
we need him back. Yeah, you ain't lying.
Jamal,
because PJ Williams. Oh boy.
PJ, everybody want to talk about PJ. Let's talk about Tyrann.
He wasn't even in the game.
Let's talk about Tyrann.
Time out,
his
y'all.
small ass. I'm tired of his small ass getting pushed around.
PJ Williams didn't play on Sunday.
Which one of these pieces don't belong?
Listen,
I'm gonna be honest.
That Tyrann is. He ain't tackling.
Tyrann does not look good right now.
He ain't tackling.
He don't.
He looking like Jairus Bird. I keep telling y'all that.
No,
looking like that Jairus Bird signing.
J-Live, Tyrann Mathieu gets an up. There was a play in the fourth quarter that he really came up big on. He was trying to make a solo tackle on the Seahawks backup running back
on the sideline.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And he dragged him out of bounds. He dragged him out of bounds.
That's one play.
That's what that.
Yeah, but we gotta look at the bigger picture though. That pass to Tyler Lockett, that deep throw.
I don't like him.
That was JT Gray. Listen.
That was Justin Evans.
No, Tyrann actually had a good step that he could have prevented, and he looked at the right side of the field, the left side of the field, looking like, what the hell was over there on the left side? There was nothing over there, and he looked like, dude could have had an early step on.
It's hard. I know what you're talking about. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, that I watched that play like at least 10 times, and when I went back and looked, I was like, yeah. There was nothing.
And there's nobody there on the left.
Nobody there on the left.
Like, why are you even going that way? Like,
I didn't even
and get off my team. Man.
I know what you were talking about, but JT Gray was actually closer to the play, and so was Justin Evans. But I mean, that was just a big
not Tyrann Mathieu. JT had the worst dude.
Shit. Right now, I'd rather put PJ back there than Tyrann.
Wait, just a minute ago, you were saying how bad PJ was.
Oh, you tripping.
That was so
you
bad.
Did not just say that bullshit.
You took him out the show?
That shit was blasphemy.
Hey, we laughing. That might be the truth. Why you bullshit? There might be a better option while you bullshit. Because, hey, bro, Tyrann ain't did nothing this year, bro. I am not happy.
He had a pick last week.
I don't give a damn about that.
Okay. You don't. Okay, yeah, man. See, you one of those guys.
Look. I saw that pick, but he's not doing anything, bro. Like, seriously. And then when he do something, he gets ran over for 3 yards. Like, what's going on here, man?
That's not entirely true, bro.
Right,
bro. He's not doing enough.
Maybe not.
He's not doing enough.
But
he has for us. He's not doing nothing for us.
I ain't gonna lie.
He struggled to make tackles, but that is not entirely true.
I guarantee you, he graded out in the 40s on PFF. What have been grading?
What are you expecting from Tyrann Mathieu?
I'm expecting
5 picks a game.
I'm expecting him when he run up and hit a running back, he don't fall back.
All right, now you understand
he's too small for that.
You understand he's about 5'8", 5'9".
So why the hell? So why he going high? Why you look? Even my little boy tell me, Daddy, depending on how I'm gonna hit that boy, depending on how big that tree is. That tree big, I'm chopping them legs. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Why you going high if you that damn smart?
He on a vegan diet, bro. He on his vegan way, man.
That nigga need a steak and potato meal, dog. Like he getting ran over. He getting ran over out here, man.
I just explained to you that the man tackled a different way to end up hitting that guy that was bigger than him. So he has he's trying to find ways to tackle differently.
But bro, he too old for that. He too old for that shit. He should already know how he got to go low. He should already know that.
Matthew has the same PFF grade as Derwin James.
He couldn't tackle either. Williams couldn't tackle either.
Bro, all I'm saying is he ain't lived up to the hype. Can we all agree on that? He has not lived up to the hype.
No, we can't agree to that. No, stop.
Yeah.
Just because you agree with the team doesn't
right, you can agree with your.
I feel sorry for y'all, bro. I feel sorry for y'all, bro.
Listen. I got a question. Other than Andy Dalton, do you have any positives about the Saints from weeks 1 through 5 that you can talk about?
Positives.
Yeah, anything positive that you can say about the Saints? Other than Andy Dalton.
Bro, yeah. Latavius Murray was positive.
He don't play for us no more.
He gone.
Okay, that's not a positive.
You know what I mean?
That's a negative.
That was the first positive we saw all season.
Okay, but he don't play for us no more. So that's a negative.
That positive was very short.
So that was a nice positive. And then of course Taysom Hill, and the offense is looking better when they inserted Andy Dalton in the mix. We start looking like something. You know what I mean?
Listen, other than Andy Dalton, have you seen any positives with this team?
Kamara, he's doing okay as long as you feed him.
2 fumbles, fumble bag.
Kamara's been okay.
He's been okay.
What about on the defensive side?
On the defensive side, it's just been Pete Werner. The secondary scares the hell out you. Everybody, y'all should all be scared.
Secondary hurt.
I understand, but look, we do look better. Marcus May has been great. I liked him. I mean, I miss him. I definitely miss him.
Yeah, you definitely miss him because he ain't PJ.
Hey, look, how many sacks y'all think we should have this week against that?
Boy, how many sacks? When does Tyrann Matthews grade out better than Marcus May?
He's graded higher. If you want to bring up PFF because you brought it up.
Right, fact.
Time out. We all watch the same game, right?
Don't matter.
PFF he was graded better than Marcus Williams.
Bro, when Marcus May in there, I see Marcus May making plays. When I see Tyrann Matthews making plays, guess what? He falling back.
He said Marcus Williams.
He falling back. He ain't doing nothing out there, bro. I'm telling you, it reminds me of Jarvis Bird, bro. Except without the big contract.
There was a person that asked a question that wasn't answered. Somebody asked how many sacks do they think that we should get this week?
2.5.
Against right.
5.
I think at least 3.
5? What the fuck?
I said 3.
Are y'all smoking?
Their O-line is hot doo-doo. Paper mache.
Y'all okay? Yeah. Y'all keep go in the game Sunday and be
like, our defensive line look like paper mache sometimes.
The fuck? We ain't getting no 5 sacks.
Okay, so something else we also haven't talked about is we're playing the Bengals. How does everybody feel about Eli Apple coming back here?
Man, look, I respect Eli. Eli was a force for us when he was here, bro.
He's a force for them as well. He was the best rated man corner in the league last year.
I love it. He could come back because if Mike come back, guess what? Guess who's getting toasted? Guess who's getting toasted?
By who? Who the hell is he getting toasted by?
Mike.
Shit, Callaway
How we
can
know
toast
Mike
his
playing?
ass.
How we know Mike? Mike
Bro,
don't
Mike
ever
playing.
toast nobody. Mike don't toast shit. He bullies people. He don't toast nobody.
He bullies and cooks.
He don't toast nobody. Mike ain't gonna outrun your ass. Man.
Yeah. He'll put you on the highlight reel. He'll put you on the highlight reel.
Yes, he will. Yes.
Right now, Olave. Another thing, right now, Olave is probably not going to play. He's in that concussion protocol, and the league has kind of taken a big stand on that. So it's not looking likely, but I mean, it is what it is.
Look, I don't even really want to see him play. I could tell he was out when he caught that ball, bro. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, babe, he out.
Just get ready to see Traquan and Callaway.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
They tried to take our touchdown away from us, but that was a touchdown from jump. That Olave touchdown, that was a touchdown from jump.
Bro, they cheat. The dude dropped the ball, bro. So it shouldn't have been counted. But hey, well, I'll take it.
Rule change. The rule was changed about 3 years ago, cuz.
Bro, they got to change it back, bro.
No, he got both feet down and he had possession to the ground. The ground can't cause a fumble.
Right, rule
You got to hold that ball all the way. If you let it go, it's incomplete.
No,
how you want him to hold that ball when he got knocked out? What's wrong with
man, dude slammed him.
You a troll.
You know, I'm fucking with you. Yeah, bro. Look, definitely that was a catch. Hey, he got like 3 feet down, maybe 4.
Now, how do y'all feel about the DK Metcalf fumble? I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, that wasn't.
That wasn't a fumble.
Yeah, that was a fumble. Hey, no, y'all didn't see it right because I saw that ball move. That was a fumble.
I saw that ball move too. That was definitely a fumble.
Hey, it moved right before his elbow hit the ground. It did. It kind of moved, and then his elbow hit.
The real question was there a football move made or was it an incomplete pass?
Fuck that football move,
bro. He had full possession. That ball was held. It was in his grip. That was after. He still had the ball in the same place after contact.
You know why they needed. You know why it was a good call, because if he would have caught it and if he would have kept held of it, it would have been a catch. So being like, if he goes down with it, it's a catch. But if it pops out, then it's an incomplete pass. Like it's like, damn, it's a lose-lose. It's like you can't even do nothing on defense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. To me, it was a questionable call, but I'm glad we ended up with it.
Yeah, but because on the field, the call was a fumble, right?
Right.
And so because it was so close, it should have stayed the fumble.
Right. When there's not enough evidence, it's inconclusive. They're gonna let the call stay with the call is on the field.
Oh, right.
Hey fellas.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know right now, and everybody that's in the chat, we got 30 of us watching right now. I just put the link in the chat. I pinned it to the top. I want y'all to click that link. We're going to hop over there and go show love to Dol17 on, Keeping It Real podcast. And I'm going to go over there and, go chat it up with him. So everybody just go over there, join his StreamYard link, that he has it in the chat as well for us. And we can all go talk over there and show him some love and get this man some more viewers up in there. So I hope to see everybody over there. And thank everybody that came on this show tonight and chatted up. Like I said, let's just carry it over to the other chat over there. The link is pinned to the top, so I appreciate y'all.
Man, y'all come hang out with Live and Crew.
We can't deal with them sometimes, Jesus. But thank y'all, who that everybody, and we'll see y'all. I'm gonna try to see y'all again tomorrow night. But like I said, I hope to see y'all still tonight at Keeping It Real podcast, Dol17. Click the link now; it's pinned to the top.
Who that?
Who that? Hold it down, LeBlanc.
Big Damon.
Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We going to the bowl. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Young Nolan hooded, you wanna beat me like you know. Chris Olave, MC down the field. Once the throw the ball deep, yeah, you know it's getting real. Put Jones in the slot, he gon' do damage. AK in the backfield, you know Durant. E. Davis coming through the line, QB running out of time. Tom Brady, that's mine. Yeah, the Saints did it fine. Hold out, chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Chopper style. Choppers out, the boys wild, yeah, the boys wild. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we toting, holla. Marshawn Lattimore, play the left field. Marcus May play deep safety, so you know the deal. We got Tyron in the box, got the QB on lock. Man, we ready to rock. See, they gone in the slot out. A Debo, play the right side. Stop playing with that boy. 29, ready to ride. We ain't tripping at all. We going to the top. Yeah, we gon' spin they block. Yeah, we knocking on the top. Look. We rap the floor the lead. So boy was poppin'. The Saints really wildin'. Them boys on fire. We really number one. We move with silence. We zip them boys up. If it's a problem, chop us out. Chop us out. The boys wild. Yeah, them boys wild. Chop us out. Chop us out. The boys wild. Hold up.